Hello guys, welcome to my channel. We're excited to have you here.
Especially now with March in the mix, like there's going to be some creativity.
You know it.
Before it never happens and it's just the same old Nigma.
No, I know. That could be the problem, is sort of we hype up these things, we think that there's going to be something cool, and then just all the dreams fall apart. Man, we got really deep very quickly into this cast here. Bunch of heroes in the mid. They get down the 2 wards. We'll see if they face off against each other off to this side. But already, you were talking about this at the beginning of the draft. You really liked the opening that Nigma had, and you felt like it sort of fit well with what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I feel like for Nigma, especially with how well Gladiators at the major were able to show LeshracIO being such a good combo. But, you know, Amar, 1 second. Let's see him escape real quick. Yeah, I feel like you throw Sumo on this Leshrac. The hero didn't really get nerfed in the previous small patch that we had. It's like, what, 10 less damage on his ultimate, so like 1 second less on Bloodstone. So, yeah, IO Leshrac, filthy combination. IO not nerfed. It should be Nigma's like top strategy, I feel, coming into this DPC.
No, absolutely. I think that would be incredibly strong. Also, you can see Stormstorm already queuing up the Meteor Hammer. The other thing that the patch brought us is not just the disappearance of Lesh, but the Meteor Hammer that the panel talked about a lot as well. And we did see Amar there have to skill up the Pounce level 1. So a win with the Fishmen Glimpse strats that you love to see. And it looks like they are going to be sending him up top. So Amar and GH playing together in the top lane with MC trying to take the safe lane Pango. I guess they just want to try and get better lane setup. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, so I don't think anyone in chat should be going, Lamar's playing offlane Slark. No, this is very much, they're looking for the setups, right, like you mentioned. IO Slark, incredibly strong matchup. Now you throw it into some like Monkey King melee hero, you can take the fight to him. And then you have Pangolier against Enigma. Those Eidolons, of course, you can swash them down. So yeah, Enigma just making sure they have the better laning matchups to propel their heroes into the lane.
Yeah, and we already have seen how bad it can go sending a Pango into the offlane like Lacoste was talking about. That mad hero can really just get punished quite quickly. Mar trading hits now against Fishman up top, bringing him lower and lower, and willing to go toe-to-toe even without that Essence Shift point.
Yeah, I feel like because you have that IO, you don't really care as well, right? It's like, Essence Shift would be nice, but IO Slark is still so potent, and it's another reason why they want to put the Pangolier away from this lane, because Disruptor, now that you put this 1 point in Glimpse early on, this Pangolier, like, using Swash to disengage from the area, you're always going to be brought back into that kind of volatile area. So yeah, another kind of layer to why Nigma did do these laning setups.
Yeah, it would. I mean, you can imagine Watson and Fishman just bullying the crap out of a Spirit Breaker Pango lane, and in the meantime, they're having an okay time down there. Pango already 7 last hits, and you can see that while he is getting denied out a little bit by Toby, you know, not as bad as it would have been when you're denying out all those range creeps as happened in the last patch.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine for the setup, and that is the unfortunate thing with Spirit Breaker. Like, it's such a bad hero for laning phase. Like, as someone who's got like 950 games on it, like, it feels worse than playing Darkseer in the first 3 minutes. Just so you understand the pain.
Hold on. Let's not compare pain here, okay? This is supposed to be a safe broadcast.
No,
what the hell was that?
This is a safe space for us to share our, you know, our deepest, darkest thoughts
and compare them, apparently.
I mean, yeah, you want to tier list it or what? Like,
it's messed up. No, I hear what you're saying, though. No matter what, it feels pretty bad when you're trying to deal with that lane. As Amari's going to be pulled back in. The tether does continue through it. The Boundless Strike leaps away. Can they bring him down, though? He's stuck off to the side. Watson makes the move forward, but won't be able to find the full kill. Still really annoying to deal with this in the lane.
Yeah, luckily for Nigma there, the lane is pushing in, so they're going to have that tower region underneath them. Just be able to see us under tower. No major threat, but yeah, we haven't really mentioned it, but the overall lineups here, I think for Stormstorm and Invoker, like, he has to do a lot of work to get this Entity lineup into the game, because Entity, they don't really have ways to defend their towers or to make these like quick, swift moves across the map. It's a lot of poking and nuisance, and this is why Stormstorm's got to pop off, because on the flip side, Nigma,
Sumail just moves in. Okay, well, somebody popped off in the mid lane, that's for sure. Sumail making a very quick move.
And this is kind of what I was hinting at, is like, if Nigma like just gets the lead, their lineup will just snowball throughout the map.
It needs to be him, though, because right now Amar is not having a good time up top. Like, we were talking about, okay, you know, Stormstormer needs to pop off, but if Slark is this badly hurt early on, it's going to be pretty rough, too. That being said, it's 9 last hits on the Invoker, 9-1 versus 22-6. He's getting completely bodied here.
At this point, we can say, don't worry though, it's only an off-lane Slark, okay?
Right, exactly. All right, I see.
You know, Pango 16 for 1, but yeah, for Nigma, it's like this Slark pick, it feels, even if it's got a bad lane, it's going to present itself with, like, just jumping the back lines, you'll probably buy a shard, you'll enable everyone else. So for Nigma's game plan, it's not the worst, but...
Glyphs the wave there too, so he can keep the pressure on with Sumail. Very, very bold stuff coming out from him mid there as they missed the tornado onto him earlier too. So already you can see the pain that's starting to come in onto that Invoker in the mid.
Yeah, and yeah, I think luckily for Stormstormer, there's no support rotation that Nigma can make cleanly.
Okay.
Because I has to have hug Slark, and because of this Bounty Hunter hugging the Enigma, like, Spirit Breaker can't leave bot lane. Because I look at Mind Control, he's on half HP, he will just get shurikened or Janarded down. Currently he's 2-point Janarder on the Bounty Hunter. So very much Nigma are locked into the side lanes, which means this mid lane is just that perfect 1v1 duel, a very honest matchup. And yeah, so far, Sumail is crushing it.
Yeah, he is really taking it away there. Now you can see sort of this esportsbet.io odds, they were a little bit heavily into the favor Entity before the game, now coming a little bit more close, maybe a testament to how this early game has gone. That Nigma getting off to a hot start with the Lesh. The question that I've got with this is, you know, when are they going to try and sort of take advantage of that? Sumail in the mid went onto him again, but Amar now turning toe-to-toe against Watson, wants to bring him down. Only level 3 on the Slark, and this does not appear to be working. Maybe turns on a Fishman for the kill. Can he get away afterwards?
He has some branches.
Has a couple more to get out of there, and he is going to be able to survive. So a really nice play. Builds up the stacks on the Monkey King, and then just kills off Fishman.
The amount of, like, trust you have to have. Like, GH probably in comms is like, don't worry, Amar, I got you. Keep going, keep trying.
Comes in. Leashes. Needs to be... Oh. Oh, no. Oh, God.
I have nothing to say.
That was not how that was supposed to go. And GH, he's going to be pulled back in, tries to get away. That's a double kill for Watson. In towards mid, though. Nigma, wanting to make up for the sins of the top lane, will manage to take down Stormstormer again.
God, I got to calm down from that one.
It's happened.
It was just like, I'm looking at this, like, beautiful aggression. It's like, all right, that's hype. And then it's like, you don't want to go on the Monkey King. I feel like so far Nigma should have learned that the Monkey King is slaughtering the Slark in the matchup, right? 30 for 12, you got 15 for 4, but no, Amar, he's playing with some aggro.
GH is like, don't worry, guys. Sumail, coming mid. We're going to get some more kills there. Fishman starts to drop down low. The Spirit Breaker charge might be enough to finish him off. Can they get out afterwards? So they do bring down that Disruptor as they try and chase down this Bounty Hunter. Katomi taking a lot of damage, still just level 3. And Sumail ready to dive pretty freaking far, but runs out of mana before he can find that final touch.
Yeah, and this is the part of the game where Entity needs to be careful. When Io and Spirit Breaker do leave their side lanes, sure, they are going to be sacking a Slark and Pangolier. Like, they're not going to get a lot from side lanes, but it can propel Sumail to completely break open this game. So, yeah.
Can really take over in a big way. Now, the charge comes from behind, and Toby starts to get dropped lower and lower, swashbuckle forward, but they can't find enough for the kill. But up top,
Watson.
Monkey King. Oh, Watson got very, very low there. Does manage to escape.
That's a good tip from Stormstormer to, you know, PMA his teammates there. That Monkey King was dead to rights, but dodges one little bit of damage, jukes it away, and yeah, is able to spring off.
Kuro, 2 bashes in a row. Love to see it. Just forces back Katomi a little bit. But yeah, 7.5 minutes in, and you can see there's like very clearly defined layers here, which is why that Monkey King getting away is so clutch, because he's the top net worth right now for Entity, very much sort of carrying their hopes and dreams in this game. Because I mean, Stormstormer, you know, you can see it's kind of rough for all of those heroes around that area.
It's rough, but I think the saving grace is he is going Quadswex. He is going to be able, like, this is a hero that is one of the best at counter aggressions if you don't lose your tower early on, right? You get the levels, you take away the mana, Leshrac then can't continue diving. So, like, Entity, if they can get to, like, 1 or 2 cheap items on their heroes, and they, you know, correctly choose where to fight, they are going to be able to deal with that aggression. It's just, can they get to that point to stabilize the game for themselves? Like, again, like, Wukong's command on Monkey King as well, a great defensive tool. They need to get to that point, and that's why Nigma, you can feel like the need or like desire to try and move their heroes around the map to try and find these kills. And I feel like Katomi's been doing this the entire time. Like, he's on the brink of death or just being quite a nuisance.
Absolutely. Well, Meteor Hammer revealed in the mid, but there is a lot of healing coming out from GH. More than enough to keep him alive. The glimpse, is it going to be enough damage? No. Doesn't quite have enough to kill off Sumail. Misses the stun completely. Fairy Fire backs away. Will survive. Oh, man, by the skin of his teeth, Sumail gets out of there. And Stormstormer showing that value. Like you talk about, the counter aggression, it can be strong.
Yeah, and this is because Nigma wasn't able to, when they brought the supports mid, to be decisive enough to take this tower. Because if they took this tower, we're not looking at a 9-minute situation where Invoker is playing with confidence. It's now the map feels lost. So some of these early moves from Nigma weren't able to cleanly connect, and this is exactly what Entity need to get themselves into this game. So yeah, so far so good. Net worth looking absolutely incredible for them. This Monkey King, 4.3k to the, we'll call it off-lane Slark, just to make it sound better. 2.9k, 3k for Amar.
He's catching back up, but it's going to be a little bit. That death definitely hurt him. Now, there are some really good stacks that are built up in the jungle too. Fishman here is going to be able to get the glimpse and then run away. But there was a ping on the Radiant Ancients as Stormstormer drops another Meteor Hammer mid. GH can only just look on. So Entity are aware that these stacks are there and that eventually Lesh is going to want to make the move to go and clear them out, which he might just do right now, actually. So that could be a sort of point where they come and try and contest him. We'll have to watch and wait.
Yeah, I think right now, Sumail's kind of in like a farming state. I think there's been a couple times where he's been not outplayed, but just disengaged in the mid lane. If they want to take the fight, they have to bring a lot of heroes.
And they go right on in. The glimpse to get him away again. And now Kuro's kind of in without a plan, without any help. And he's going to be brought down. So Entity, they actually use 4 heroes in that direction. One was a TP that got canceled. But you can see they're going to go back and clear out those stacks after everybody comes mid.
Yeah, I think the Fishman, he's had some really nice positioning in regards to just preventing Nigma's aggression. He's helped now multiple times in the mid lane. I think if anything, you might look towards mind control. You know, when you're a Pangolier into a Nigma, the lane's never in a good spot. Potentially when he hits 6, if he TP'd into mid, they overwhelm with 4 heroes, pre-10 minutes. That could have been the necessary resources Nigma needed to actually break down this map, because I feel it's somewhat illegal that Stormstormer's tower is still alive at this minute mark, especially when there's like a bounty hunter support with a disruptor. Like there's not a double whammy defensive support during enabling Invoker right now. So I think Nigma will be kind of kicking themselves a little bit that they haven't been able to progress this map state.
I mean, the other thing too is just that there isn't anybody to come on in and stop this Meteor Hammer from happening. Like Lesh is wanting to farm out the jungle so much that nobody is coming to contest this, and it's just free hits. It's like, think about when we have all those smokes coming in to take a tower and take the tier 1. Like, he's getting it for free.
Yeah, what a world we live in when Invoker's taking the mid tower quicker than Leshrac.
Dude, it feels really bad for him. And he's even going to get the last hit. So yeah, tower goes down. And, well, they do bring in Kuro. Static Storm already dropped Fishman. Does he have enough to get the kill? No. So the Disruptor gets out. Enigma, I mean, they're still farming. They're still getting what they want to some extent. But Entity's just getting it quicker.
I will just emphasize for the rest of this cast, if I see Spirit Breaker right-clicking, I will probably innately scream bash at some point.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
This is nothing to do about Nigma or Kuroki. It's just my innate need for the cow to bash, right? Again, just in case anyone in chat thinks it's some, some bias or whatever.
No, the bias comes out in other ways.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Wait, what? Sorry. Hold
on. Down bottom, Nigma smoking up, trying to find a kill. It's just going to be Katomi there, but that is still at least one as Nigma get on the board. Haven't been able to take a tier 1 tower yet, but they're getting towards that timing with Lesh finding his Bloodstone. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, and they've completed the mech on GH now, so even more heals are going to be coming out. And if anything, it's just they need to be very select with how they use this. They can kind of get baited into looking for a fight, and once again, disrupt the Static Storm, the Invoker, Tornado. Like, they can put themselves in a weak position.
Ooh, and got to be careful here. Amar, Tornado to start. They find him, tries to TP out. No way to break it. Monkey King, the Boundless Strike was still on cooldown.
I like how this entire time we kind of forgot that Toby existed in this game. Like,
it's true.
I won't even lie. There's an Enigma in the bot lane, and he's, what was it? Like 700 gold away from a Greaves, and wait, oh no, Sumail's Kuro died with the Bloodstone.
Yeah, Katomi on the job. He knew what it was gonna be coming that direction. Hasn't been able to get level 6 yet, but I think he's pretty okay with this.
Of course. I mean, you were able to take away, you know, the Bloodstone for an extra minute and a half. And Nigma, this lineup, it's always chasing that next, you know, minute timing.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-20 minutes, like, that's their element. And, you know, Entity, they're doing the small things, defend their mid-tier 1 tower, take away the Bloodstone Courier. Nice little play there from Mar, actually. He lost his ultimate passive, so then he scanned on top of him to check if it was Bounty Hunter or a ward.
Right.
Then he knew it was the Bounty Hunter, so he didn't use a sentry. So
Right.
some might say it was a waste of a scam, but I kind of like it in the early game when you're not making these like fluid map plays. Use it for your advantage. Yeah, he didn't waste a sentry.
Didn't die either. There were a lot of heroes up there. Could have been bad. Man, I will say Stormstormer, like, this is the most Meteor Hammers I've seen used in the early game in a really long time. He's just spamming it off cooldown on these towers. Like, his tower damage is going to be off the chain.
And it's the fact that he's doing this against a Spirit Breaker with an IO relocate.
Right.
And that Pangolier, like, you know, rolling thunder at any point. Like, he's doing this against some of the best anti-split pushing-esque heroes. But yeah, Nigma just haven't been able to capitalize on it. You know, the confidence from Stormstormer.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you can see they're anticipating a gank, but Nigma, they're not really wanting to do that. They're not wanting to make moves yet. Still waiting for that Bloodstone. Sumail has the gold now, can go and pick up at least the point booster if he wants, but it's still going to be a couple of minutes, or I guess a couple of seconds until he gets it finished off. And when do you think they want to try and fight on the side of Nigma? Is there a moment when they're actually going to be sort of trying to take the fight to the side of Entity?
I mean, any minute when they complete that Bloodstone, it should be their time to go. Like, we've yet to see a Rolling Thunder. We're yet to really see Amar enter the fight.
Tries to get him here. Is it going to be enough to take down Stormstormer? They drop down the sentry, and they do get that kill.
Yeah.
On the other side, Nigma get away from the action.
I think, yeah, finally Stormstormer got punished. I mean, again, he's had a great game so far, but I feel like he should have died at least once to this, the cheekiest of his tower aggression, and yeah, it does come in. But no, yeah, now that Nigma has the Diffusal Blade on Slark, they've got about to complete Diffusal Blade on Pangolier as well, the Bloodstone on Leshrac. This is a massive timing for Nigma to cross the river to look for those fights. But they have to be careful, because this entire time, like, we haven't even mentioned Nigma too much. He's about to complete a Greaves.
Right.
They're running into a Static Storm. They're running into a Wukong's with an overfarmed Monkey King. Like, this isn't going to be easy. I think Monkey's actually even got BKB, complete by the time. Like, this is a 16-minute BKB. Like, he's had one of the freest of games.
No, I mean, and that's a huge point as well. If they can keep them there and actually immediately just going to drop it onto Amar, he is in a world of hurt. They try and get him in and try and heal him up with the IO. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Does, well, TP out. Anything to break it? Nothing. He gets away. They drop the black hole late. Oh, Toby, a little unfortunate on that one.
They threw the kitchen sink at him, and yeah, Amar just didn't die.
Damn.
Damn.
I mean, that's a lot used for nothing. I mean, if I'm Nigma right now, I feel like they've got to go again as soon as IO's up.
Oh, they're screaming for the aggression, and already they're finding Toby.
Yeah, why not? Makes the move over, finds that kill, and Nigma keep on looking for more. Amar immediately onto Katomi. They will throw the glimpse to try and get him away, but they find Fishman. Can they bring him out in time? No. But still, a huge win. And after finishing that Bloodstone, a couple of seconds later, Sumail, got his Kaya.
He's an absolute big boy on this Leshrac. Don't know why Jenkins just hit me for a second with my casting. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I mean, this is... Entity was having such a beautiful, stable game, and like that is the one thing that they didn't want to do with this lineup. Like, you give an opportunity for Nigma to go, wait, cooldowns are down, let's keep chaining it, and they're not going to stop.
No, they keep going for more. Fishman there tries to get the glimpse to get him away, and it actually looks like he will be able to for a moment, but eventually they're able to chase him down with the Pango, and now the roll-in onto Stormstorm. He doesn't have anywhere to go. No black hole available. I don't know what happened to it, but it is not here now, and oh, a good turn with Watson. That might be enough to keep him alive. Sumail is low on mana, so everybody has to retreat to get out of there, and you can't afford to give up any of these kills with the track gold ready to come back the other direction. So 9-5, only 1,000 gold separating the two teams, but a very action-packed last couple of minutes.
Yeah, for Entity right now, they need to kind of make the map feel wider. They can't fall victim to taking every single fight that Nigma tries to present themselves. Utilize the split push, utilize, you know, Monkey jumping around, Invoker with his hammer, and then when you're able to get your cooldowns back up again, play underneath your vision and look for that fight that you can actually use your spells correctly, because this is the point when Nigma, like, they can't go Roshan really with this lineup, not until way later down the line. So it doesn't matter if you concede a tower or two.
Walks into vision, Glimpse pulls him back in. It's a second round of this now. The Meteor Hammer connects, but Amar, he just walks away. Do they have enough to keep him alive? Yes, they do, and now Sumail, he's doing so much damage to all of them. The Greaves, will it be enough to keep him alive through it? It looks like it will, so the turnaround comes out, and now the BKB, but immediately they relocate, but they get him back in. Sumail, he's caught and can't get away. Kuro now in trouble, more track gold gonna be given over. So Entity find 2 clutch kills, and well, Io on the relocate, he's gonna get in trouble. Gonna get ran down now as well. A couple of big pickoffs.
I mean, Fishman just perfectly starting these fights, right? Like the aggressive positioning from Amar, he just drags them back, and it's like an Entity are forcing Nigma to take fights when they're not cleanly ready to do it, right? They're like kind of scrambling and like hoping to throw bodies, and sure, it looked great where Sumo was pumping out some early damage, but this Monkey King with BKB, he's able to just stand his ground, throw the Wukongs, and just put that rift in between Nigma's very, snowbally-esque lineup where they kind of all need to be clumped up together. Like, you don't want to be clumped up against, you know, Midnight Pulse, Invoker, Monkey King. It's too difficult.
No, it's a problem, and there was that moment. I mean, I think the Greaves was definitely a huge turning point, too, where, you know, everybody had taken so much damage. You got max value out of it. As Stormstormer is going to be charged. I don't know what happened to break Lesh's whatchamacallit either. It looked like he was getting relocated out of there. But regardless, it was the Glimpse that must have come out onto Sumail.
There's so many ways for Entity to block it. It's either clipped by a Static Storm, there's, you know, Malefist, there's Shurikens if he's tracked and he just gets clipped by him. There's like so many ways for it to be a difficult relocate out game. Like we're yet to see the, you know, those iconic, whoa, he's out, let's re-engage after. Like yet to see that really happen.
And of course, you know, picking the Fishman Disruptor, I think everybody knew when we saw that Leshrac coming out that there was a likelihood that you're going to get a GHIO afterwards. So having the perfect answer for it with this Disruptor, at least in some regards, not in every regard, but you know, with the run-in looked good. It was the save that was a little bit of a problem. 20 minutes now, 10-8. Still very, very close between these two teams. And you said that, you know, we're probably not going to be seeing a Roche anytime soon. It does kind of feel like that's the next thing on the docket, though, for these teams, if they can win, like, a big fight, maybe? I don't know. What do you think? Or do you think that they just want to try and push down more towers? Oh, you may have...
the only time that Nigma... I may have pressed that button, boss. I thought it was a push to mute, not push and mute, you know, I forgot. Anyways, what was I saying? I feel like for both teams, Roshan's pretty awkward. They don't have that innate taker, so it's who really breaks the biggest fight to be able to do it after.
Well, they drop down a Static Storm, low on mana right now on Amar, and, well, as it gets burned, they get the Black Hole this time. Somebody's like, gotcha. So a nice little pickoff as they take down Amar.
I feel like this has been the same scenario like 3 to 4 times in a row now.
I mean, he got away last time, though, right?
Yeah, but his team kind of died for it, boss. Like.
That's fair. That's a good point.
It's like Groundhog Day, just Amar in the dire jungle.
It's a decent point. Well, regardless, it does feel like this game very much revolves around the Lesh for Nigma, but Stormstormer and Monkey, they're both scaling and becoming these like really big problems for the moment.
Yo, we got a Deso on the Monkey as well. Like, we don't really see it too much, but he's got Mage Slayer for the Leshrac, Desolator as well to punish the armor of Leshrac. Like, this Monkey is going to slaughter.
The Meteor Hammer, it doesn't connect because Kuro got the charge through. Still control now onto MC. Wants to get away, but will he be able to? Katomi, okay, they turn and are ready to fight. Now has to roll on out with Lesh is already dead, though. Watson caught him. Oh, all right, evacuate. Everybody needs to get out of there. And Watson, I don't know if he's going to let you do it. Amar tries to turn to fight onto this Monkey King. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Stormstormer, the disarm, it's there. Watson's still living through this. He's dropping lower and lower, though. And, well, with the death shot, the dodge, he's in a banana form. Watson, he lives up through it. And now tries to turn to get away. It's not going to happen. The banana, it went moldy, and now they're looking for more. These fights just are going absolutely haywire back and forth as eventually Toby gets brought down too.
I mean, Entity, they just got, you know, split apart there. Just the fact that Nigma were able to disengage. Like, Leshrac dying at the very start of the fight. Like, some teams, they're piecing out. They're not taking it, but they were just going to, you know what, you're on the north side. Let's just, you know, re-engage a little bit. So
I mean, it's true, right? Like, think about how many of the fights could start good for Nigma where Sumail dies, like, doing no damage. Like, how does that happen?
Rarely. Rarely any. And that's where, like, Entity, again, like, their heroes, they thrive on taking the brunt of the engagement and then going, now you're in our territory. When they're the aggressors, unless they're protecting each other with just bodies, it's somewhat difficult. So I feel like, yeah, Entity got a little bit too excited with their position in the game. And yeah, at any moment with this Nigma lineup, you give them that opportunity, they will just sweep across the map. And with mentioning how hard it was to go Roshan, that's the opening that Nigma needed to take it.
Right, and these next couple of minutes are going to be very telling because we haven't seen that explosion out of net worth. The team's very much still splitting the map. I want to see if Nigma can actually like put the clamps down on this, sort of use the Aegis to play a little bit more oppressively around the map, shut off the areas where Entity are going to farm, or if it's going to be more of the same. Could be tough.
Aegis is a key factor for Nigma. Like Entity, all their heroes are locked into big spells, right? And maybe not all of them, but at least Monkey, Disruptor, and Enigma, right? If these big spells are down, it gives even more. Let's watch Kuroki die for a second.
They're bringing in a lot of heroes. If they take this fight afterwards, it might go poorly for him. And in fact, they find Amar. Drop the Wukong's command down, tons of damage, he's gone. Just give up the Spirit Breaker. Just let him die. Didn't end up happening, and now Nigma thinking about going in. They will retreat away. So, do lose two heroes there. And Entity, very good placement of, you know, taking their fights on their terms.
Yeah. In true Nigma fashion, though, this won't matter. They're just going to respawn and go again, right?
That's fair.
We're talking about these big spells, right? 90-second cooldown now on Wukong's. Static Storm on cooldown for a minute. Like, sure, you're trading off this Slark, but I feel this Slark has put himself in a position where he isn't the carry in the game. You know, he is just like this sacrificial lamb that will just, you know, throw his body in. He bought this shard early on. He's not going BKB. He's forcing Disruptor to go, I have to stop you, so that the aggression doesn't follow up. And I feel like for Nigma, they need, this is another window where they make those plays. If they don't, then we are leaning towards Entity just, you know, playing defensively, waiting for these BKBs to come out, and then they all look to, you know, cross the river. But yeah, already look, Nigma smoking up.
Well, and you see Katomi sort of scouting all this stuff happening. Sumail runs on in. Will get tracked and head on out to push out the wave. But yeah, still playing very much in the driver's seat, at least for right now with that Aegis. They do have the Aghanim Shard done on GH also, so that extra spell lifesteal, very solid stuff. Katomi walks into vision for just a moment. Do they TP in a lot now? They bring in Amar, Tornado lift up, Katomi, he's gone. Disarm, tries to get some rundown here. Static Storm, they don't actually connect on anybody, but Watson, he's right on top of him. Amar thinking about getting away, is already under the ulti form, but hasn't decided to pop that big Boundless yet. And it looks like, yeah, Entity, after losing the bounty, they won't go for any more chase.
Yeah, if they connected on the connect field, that's when they would have probably, you know, thrown in the Monkey King and looked for the fight. But they don't hit the big spell, they respect it, they wait, they hold back. They understand that at any point, Nigma can just look to take multiple fights. Like, again, this is a lineup where if they survive the big spells, they're looking to take 2-3 fights after that as well. So Entity becoming more disciplined as the game progresses.
Well, we'll see if the next couple... Oh, that Paladin Sword. Oh, man. So the traded over lifesteal is pretty... Or spell lifesteal is what it is. The spell amp and then gains spell lifesteal and can share the spell lifesteal with its tethered target. So amping that up with Paladin Sword now, I don't know how Lesh dies.
Yeah, they got to try and, you know, either break that tether or at least just kite out that engagement, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Luckily for Entity, they do have one of the best spells, which is just a Black Hole. You know, you throw That's two fair. Heroes inside that, they're gonna, you know, they should be dying.
I want to see, because this is like, to me, this is the reason that I think this combo has looked so unbelievably good with Lesh. The only hero that I feel like it makes even look better is the Lifestealer sometimes, but immediately jumps now onto that Bounty Hunter, now onto Stormstormer, trying to find and kill him off. Static Storm is down, but they will be able to walk away with that BKB. Do they go in for a second salvo? Sumail chasing. They've got some spirits out there as well. Katomi going to get caught by that Rolling Thunder. There's another glimpse to pull that Lesh even further away. And in the end, it is only going to be the Disruptor going down, it looks like.
Yeah, Entity are doing a really good job. When they don't connect on their spells, they are disengaging so quickly. But they kind of, they know Watson's in the area.
Right.
They're scouting out with the orbs, even throwing down the ward, but yeah, already too far to the right-hand side.
I think that this is sort of these like Band-Aid remedy measures, and I think Disruptor's been doing a really good job of like keeping Sumail out of the fights. The kinetic fields, the glimpses, it's been really annoying to play with, but when this BKB comes out, that feels like it's a whole nother turning point for Nigma.
Yeah, I mean, especially the fact that he's gone, what, he had Bloodstone, then he had, of course, you know, bots, E-Blade, Blink, like he's gone through all these items before BKB. So when you get to like the pivotal part of the game, it's going to be a 9-second BKB, whilst Invoker's already, you know, used it a couple of times. Monkey King's used it 2-3 times. Yeah, again, I feel like for Nigma, they kind of wish the game was in a more aggressive state right now, but again, both teams, no real net worth has shifted either way throughout this entire game. It's still anyone's game.
Right, and there is also that worry eventually that could come out of like, Invoker isn't going for it yet, but you know, Aghanim Scepter, once this is already a full X-Sword Invoker at this point, going into Sheepstick for the moment, but with this Midas, Stormstormer is definitely going to scale in damage, and that combo together with Black Hole, I mean, it's just devastating. Time will tell, we will see, but for now, Entity holding on to this Radiant jungle, have some good wards down. They're almost positioned like they want to try and pressure this bottom tier 2 tower, but it's a pretty bold move without an Aegis.
Yeah, I think, you know, just playing in their vision, scouting out of Eidolons, allowing Katomi to tank up some smokes, that's kind of the key theme of the game.
Right.
Like, there's no real benefit right now from them fighting this bot area. It's like, if you win, like, you take bottom tier 2, that doesn't really help you. So you already see them smoking up. They'll leave their vision in bot, move
They
to
already
top.
scanned it, though. The scan out there actually caught on to Stormstormer, so they knew about this smoke before it even went out.
Now, do they have a second smoke? Can they do the let's go back again? And they don't.
Okay. So Entity, they'll take over this side now a little bit, looking for anybody, but not finding. Nigma, instead, they're going to head in with 5.
Watson has completed the Skadi, so some anti-healing is online now for Entity. You throw down that Wukongs, you're going to be in a pretty good spot to be able to rebuttal Nigma, but again, they need to try and contain them within that, because so far Nigma has done a very good job at poking the spells and then looking to chase them down after. Okay, Nigma smoked up.
Yeah, see if they can find anybody. Amar is the one that's out front, kind of leading the charge.
Like the entire game.
Right, it looks, I mean, and now they have the BKB done on Lesh too. Yeah, this is, I mean, the smoke is not going to connect, but this next fight, I feel like for Entity, you got to be very careful about how you play it.
Yeah, I mean, Mind Control's got a 9-second BKB yet to use. Sumo's got the 9-second BKB yet to use. You know, Amar's picked up this Ag, so he can jump in. If he's really quick, he's going to be able to, you know, disengage. Makes it even harder for Static Storm.
Likewise, though, as you mentioned, Watson having completed that Skadi, it's a whole nother level of trying to shut down that heal potential that's coming out from the Lesh. But not really looking like they're actually going to find a fight here. Instead, it's probably going to be around that next Roche area. 2.5 minutes till it's capable of respawning, or till it will respawn, rather. So sort of middle of the road, and Stormstormer does finish off now his Shard. He's going to bring that one over in just a moment. But yeah, they're very much giving up a lot of ground right here.
I mean, it's just a bit of a farm game right now. I feel like Amar's been so aggressive this entire time that the team's gone, mate, just chill, please, just calm down. And now they're like waiting for themselves. Again, I feel like this is the point where both teams realize that using spells now, it means nothing. Neither team after a big kill is going to suddenly look to chase for a Rax or anything, or like go to these tier 2, tier 3s. There's so many towers up. So both teams respect that Roshan is the key to the game. You wait, you dodge each other, you know, smoke around the map if you find someone that's great, but they're kind of just dancing around, waiting for an objective that enables them to team fight with the knowledge that that team fight will mean something bigger than just, haha, we killed them.
Well, we'll see if they actually can take that fight. Katomi walks into vision for just a moment. The rest of the team is pretty far away. Amar, he's going to immediately take off that track, but Entity having a clue that they're here and will get the D ward, immediately jumps out after leashing onto Fishman, so they take out that vision. Also worth noting, that's an Aghanim Scepter completed for Pango.
Yeah. Especially with the Basher he's already got. He's going to be able to disrupt that Enigma Black Hole at points in the game as well. So it's going to be very useful for the big team fight.
Underneath a ward, they know what's going on right now. Look at this movement away. So the entire side of Entity, they TP 4 heroes bottom right away as soon as they catch sight down there of Sumail and GH.
Yeah, they got to run back to the top side of the map. They have to protect this ward that they have outside Roshan. Again, this is the crucial part of the game for either team. And Nigma, as soon as they see the TP's bottom, they're like, you know what? Let's get back to the top side. Let's keep themselves here. And it's surprising. I feel like vision-based has been Entity's game. Even though Nigma have the Slark, I feel like Entity just had the stronger observers.
Wait a minute now. Cat tell me. The glimpse? That maybe was just to get the bounty hunter away, but they kill off a Mars Courier. That was, I think, his Echo Saber.
Yeah, rebuilding the Echo Saber.
MC? Is he going to be in trouble up here? They spot him. Stormer catches him. He has a BKB, though, if he needs to use it. MC will pop it and just walk away.
Roshan's respawn, so any spells or item used right now will be critical if anyone's out to scout out this Roshan.
I mean, the other thing, like, this MC Pango is huge around the pit right now. As they drop down the meatballs, Stormer won't be able to connect. But with Basher and Aghanims on Pango, he is, like, such a huge teamfight presence right now. Yeah,
luckily for Nigma at least, it's like you don't need the BKB to take the fight as a Pangolier. It's more a comfort of aggressive positioning. But no, neither team's really pinged out the Roshan yet, but yeah, Nigma somewhat aware due to their desire to look for that fight.
MC somewhat low on mana right now, but Kuro, the charge, it connects onto 2, both supports, caught, Amar runs in, and Fishman already dropped down the ulti, but he popped the Dark Pact, topped everything. Shadow Dance, he's away. Kuro is going to die. Amar, does he have a way to get out of himself? Doesn't quite look like it. MC already dies to Stormstormer, so they've taken down 2. Sumail still chasing, finds Stormstormer now. The rest of his team moving into position, but the Meteor Hammer is going to land it, and the Meteor damage is so insane. Sumail goes down. Watson and Stormstormer just wrecking havoc at this early point in time, and now Amar wants to get out of there. Looks like he's going to be able to, but that is an easy Roche for Entity now.
Just a 1-by-1 from Nigma. You've got, on the right-hand side of the fight, you've got MC trying to force the Monkey King and Enigma not to enter the fight, but it was one black hole into Wukong, into Sunstrike, which killed off him, and then you got Leshrac just running in. Like, a lot of just individual plays come out from Nigma. Thank God we have a replay with this one. So like Kuroki, he starts, but the Yules from Kataomi prevents Fishman from dying, and that alone completely ruins the fight. Because if you look at the mini-map, you now have like 3 heroes of Nigma, MC by himself taking the fight. We'll see it for a split second, but it's like, yeah, this is not the fight you expected from Nigma, especially at this point in the game with the items that we're mentioning. This is like a, you jump one hero, you execute, you go for another hero, you execute, but they weren't able to do that. An Entity just perfect kiting the entire time, keeping each other alive, and just punishing them perfectly. And they get the Roshan, they get the 10k lead.
This timing right now too, we just talked about the Stormstormer shard, but also hitting level 20, that talent, 80% extra damage. It's like, it's so insane from the Invoker when you get this combination. We saw it right there. Absolutely devastating.
I mean, he's able to farm so quickly with it. He's able to team fight with it. And
wait a minute, though. The Meteor Hammer, oh, it comes back to bite you. Is he going to get away, though? Still has that damage coming into him from the Diabolic Edict. Wants to run away. Watson toes up. They completely missed the Boundless Strike. But it's going to be enough to keep Stormstormer alive. Yeah, super weird, that last one. And like you said, the fight ends up, you know, now being this 11k gold lead along with an Aegis on the Monkey King.
Yes. It's how beautiful this game is, because it was at a knife's edge, right? Both teams were equal the entire time, and that second Roshan, that is the decider. And
yikes.
You see it with the graph. It's, well, poof, back to us. But Nigma, they understand that, like, there's no plan B with their lineup, right? There's no way to be, like, cute with the map. It's just, we need to find pickoffs, we need to fight, and even when they're down, they're going to continue doing the same thing. This will be, like, if this game lasts 2 hours, we'll be saying the same thing for 2 hours for Nigma's lineup.
Well, we'll see if that ends up happening, or if they can, you know, maybe on Entity try and close it out early. We'll see. You can see the switch up there in the betting odds as well from esportsbet.io. But 38 minutes in, and Nullifier on Monkey King. I mean, I guess the thing that feels weird about that was that, like, the last fight didn't even feel like a fight. It felt like two different ones happening simultaneously where none of the best spells were used in the right way by Nigma. I wonder if that looks different, if they can get all together, or if this, like, 8K gold lead now has sort of made it almost insurmountable.
I feel like this gold lead, it doesn't really matter for Nigma unless it's like 30K. Like, there's always going to be opportunities to outplay, outposition,
right,
and just out-tempo Entity, based on the fact they're locked into their spells, right? And Entity, they're cushioning that with how they itemize, right? You mentioned the Nullifier, there's now a Hex Invoker. They're giving themselves ways to engage while having to commit the kind of game-deciding spell usage, at least. And now Entity, finally, they actually, you know, cross the river with some aggression, getting some D-wards off.
And you can see immediately afterwards a gem bought by Kuro feeling like they need to try and take away some of this vision. Because it's fair, like, the other big benefit of Entity playing like this now is that they are going to be able to control the map, just deny all of that vision away from Nigma. And Watson, they were getting set up on him down bottom, but you don't want to go on that Aegis carry underneath the tier 1 tower. Just is not going to end well.
Yeah, not at all. Sumo, he's actually going for a Hex himself, which will give Nigma some more explosive entry to the fight. And yeah, if anything for Nigma, the game plan for them, it just needs to be that clean connection. Like Kuroki, of course, he's got Shadowblade on the Spirit Breaker,
right? Which
means when you enter, it's like you're not controlling the fight. You're going to get used up, or you're going to get some form of spell on you to prevent you from being that Spirit Breaker disruption. But it means the rest of Nigma need to utilize the vision he presents to take the fight. And I don't think they've been doing that well this game at all. I think they've actually been somewhat weak at using their the vision that they gain, be it through Slark or Spirit Breaker. And again, that's why Entity has been thriving.
Well, a tier 2 tower taken for Entity as the thriving is going to continue. We also saw Lincoln Sphere done on Stormstormer, so even now that easy opening that they have with the Blink Hex is not going to be super available to them. Sumail going to have to find some other avenue to make that work. And I mean, it's feeling pretty dire. It's pretty rough right now. MC is the other hero to me that maybe can make like a bit of a difference and create some chaos in these fights. But he really needs to be able to do a lot with this Basher Aghanim Scepter combo.
Also, just to mention, Sumail being quite cheeky there. He's throwing his Hex on the ground at high ground, pushing out the wave without it, to then pick it back up when he's back out of fog. So he's doing even the small plays to try and have an item reveal to give them some. So yeah, Entity are not aware of this Hex.
Up. They see it. Stormstormer, he runs right into him, but immediately the Hex comes out and they got control onto the Slark. Devastation! He got absolutely walloped. Dude, that talent is insane. That should not be possible. And now they're going to pull back in and kill off GH afterwards. I mean, yeah, it was way too much, way too quick.
And MC bot as well. He has BKB TP.
Well, he's going to get Hex down now. Wants to get away. Already down to below half HP. Well, Hammer tries to push him back, but Alacrity, one more hit. MC tracked, killed. I mean, that's the other thing that we didn't even really talk about is every one of these kills is turning into more issues. Watson, he is no longer Aegis. Okay, expired 40 seconds ago.
I mean, I guess that's the Hex reveal. It took a couple deaths on Nigma, but...
And Kuro's the one that gets all the gold for it.
Oh,
Fishman,
no.
He's going to now get caught there for a moment by the stun. The Hex is out onto Leshrac, ready to run forward. Pops the BKB. They need to get something out of this fight. Got to find a couple.
Oh, the blink!
Oh, the blink back! Sick stuff coming from Sumail, but will it matter? Might not be able to do that much as his BKB is running low on Sumail, but he does have the Hex ready. And it looks like they're not going to tempt fate anymore. Do get the huge dodge on that black hole, though.
Again, Entity, it's like they're already dicing with death because they know their monkey's dead, so anything they do here is volatile. It's like, even if you win, it's like, you're not going to gain anything. So the fight is for fun. And then it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's disengage here, but if they hit the hole, then sure, it's a whole different story, but yeah, very quick fingers from Sumail there. Again, this net worth lead, it pretty much feels like nothing, because at any moment, any Hex, any initiation, both teams have the damage to kill off a hero.
Smoke break there. They tried to get the jump onto Stormstormer with the Spirit Breaker, but it wasn't going to work.
I feel like Amar's just been playing a mini game, you know?
Yeah,
like,
a little bit.
It's not like we're talking about Slark being this insane damage dealing carry, you know? It's just like he's just vibing. He's just living his little best life, fishy life. He jumps in, he's like, ooh, hello! Jumps out, tanks some spells. It's I would like to see Amar, you know, start scaling a little bit in this game.
I mean, it's been a little bit rough for the guy, definitely. I mean, he's right about the same level as the Enigma, so again, off-lane Slark. That's what we were anticipating when we came in, as Kuro is going to run away there. Does manage to get some separation. And was that a BKB? I think he did have before the Aghanim Scepter queued up, but right now, queuing up the BKB first might be the right option.
Yeah, you got to get a BKB on the Spirit Breaker. It's critical. Like, every engagement he's had right now, he's charged in, and then like just the one yours from Bounty Hunter is destroying his game. Like, if he's able to lock on someone, like there's been like 2 fights where Kuroki's found Fishman, and if he's able to tank the Static Storm himself, or at least force Fishman to force away and not think about the better place of the fight, that's when Spirit Breaker becomes this like OP hero. Why this hero is like so good at, you know, like the post-TI era when Barrow kind of popped off a little bit. But before BKB, it's very difficult. And that's mainly speaking about support. If you're a core, you have levels, ags and whatnot, it's different.
It's a little bit of a difference.
On support, it's like, you're kind of like a primal beast, just with really shit farming speed. Like, as soon as you get BKB, you are like the king of the fight.
Right. Well, and I think that that's something to sort of consider too, is, I mean, we talk about sort of what that hero still needs. In general, it just feels like Nigma need a little bit more out of all of their heroes, and that's what this Katomi Bounty Hunter is kind of given them. We see 3 components of an Aghanim Scepter done on Disruptor playing out of position 5, and, you know, that they're starting to get to a really scary scenario. Boots of Bearing now for the Bounty Hunter. All these heroes are going to be scaling, as MC does manage to get the roll away. So won't be able to catch the Pangolier, but yeah, I'm seeing all of these NT heroes become very scary, and for Nigma, it's pretty much just the Lesh for me. Yeah,
and for Bounty Hunter, like, because of his 15 talent plus the Boots of Bearing, right? He's giving his team bonus move speed. Oh shit, hold on 1 second, MC. He's been caught.
He is in and he is down, going to fall. The rest of the team was moving in, but it was not going to matter.
And Roshan's up in 5 seconds, actually.
Oh, man. He does have buyback on it.
But no rolling for 35.
We'll see if that ends up becoming a bit of an issue there. But you got to imagine that this is like the key one. If you give up this Aegis, you're either giving away a Refresher Shard. What is it going to be? It's the Refresher Shard for Toby. Could be really rough. And you hate to give this one up. They have to know that Roche is going down. Mar steps forward. And Katomi, they glimpse him. Stormstormer catches him right there to the side. And again, Amar in trouble. Does get the huge heal up.
But Roche the relocate
out. And Roche, it's going to fall. So Stormstormer picks up everything. Amar didn't even manage to quite get the cheese in time. So Aegis, Refresher, everything there. And GH, he's going to be the one that's left behind. Unreal. Entity came to play today.
I just feel like this entire theme of the game has been they have protected this top side of the dire jungle near perfectly. Like, anytime Nigma tries to place themselves there, like, all the highlights post-game could literally just be glimpses into just Nigma death. They have done a really good job, and yeah, you know, first Roshan goes Nigma's way, but second and third going Entity. That's exactly what you need to be able to, you know, build a necessary, you know, an actual valid net worth lead.
Well, and now you do have that Aghanim Scepter done on the Disruptor too, so I mean, everything just becomes that much more difficult. If Sumail doesn't pop that BKB in time, it's going to be a huge issue. And you can see the swing there. Dota plus win probability. Still holding out some hope. As you're talking about, even with this enormous lead, there is still some potential that they have to take fights. But Entity very much in the driver's seat right now.
You know, I asked about Slark and scaling.
Yeah.
Just don't look at his quick buy. It's the opposite of scaling.
That's how it goes.
He's trying to help the boys out with some double depth shrouds.
MC, he's going to try and start this fight now. Get some Pango roll back and forth. The blink in. Stormstormer drops down the meteors and just decimating this poor old Spirit Breaker. Kuro ends up dying to one last hit from the Boundless Strike coming from Watson. And with the initiation used and both supports dead now, Entity just feel completely free in this game.
Yeah, they just have no cares. They click on Spirit Breaker, they see no BKB. He's now dead for 50. If he buybacks, you know, there won't be a BKB by the end of this game. So yeah, I think they are just happy to play with confidence. Enabling each other. Again, like I was trying to touch on it, like Bounty Hunter, boost bearing move speed, 15 talent with your track move speed. Like, Entity move quick. Like, they're able to disengage and move perfectly in these fights now.
And they drop it down. MC barely gets brought out of there. GH with the save at the last second. but that was a lot used. And Watson now just going to drop the ulti with the Alacrity going. He's already 25 too, so gets the extra big ring. And that is going to be a full set of racks going down. 24,000 gold lead right now as they all get away.
For Entity, they need to protect themselves on the disengage. Maybe Nigma, with no Wukongs, look to try and find at least a pick-off. But yeah, for Entity, reset, go to another lane, wait for Wukongs, slap it down at a racks, you're going to get it again. Repeat that 2 more times, suddenly you got mega creeps.
Well, they're going to jump in. Amar's like, I'm here, guys. I got him. Fishman, you're going down. I'm trying to kill you, but no. Toby says no. And they will manage to bring down Amar. Second round, Toby there. Finds him immediately. Black Hole gets canceled, though. Okay, a bash keeps him alive for now. Sumail at half HP. They buy back onto Amar, too. And MC, they run in, and Stormstormer does some good damage. Not quite enough to take down Sumail, but they did get the kill on MC. Now he buys back Amar. He's back into the fight, finds the Hex. Monkey King gained 4 staff away, turns to fight, and they have to jump out. But that's going to be the control. Sumail in trouble. Tries to walk back under the depth shroud, but won't be able to get under it for safety. 90 seconds without their Lesh. And Kuro, is he going to be brought down too? You know it.
They just don't have the damage now. It's like, even when Invoker TPs to the bot tier 2, and then has to run back into the fight, they just don't have that explosive damage to kill off a hero. You can't really rely on Leshrac and Pango to be your scaling heroes into the late game, and yeah, Entity just gonna run it down lanes.
And that's going to be a lot of damage there onto Amar. Not quite enough for the kill, but yeah, walking down lanes. They still have the Aegis. They've got Cheese. They did have to use the Refresher. It was a good Pango bash. But
we have Arcane Blink complete on Monkey King.
Yeah, they're ready to go. And Arcane Blink comes out immediately. GH is going to die. Amar, the last one left alive for Nigma. And well, he's going to be glimpsed back in. Wants to find some salvation. There is no salvation here. That is going to be Entity taking a 36,000 gold lead and taking the game. GG called.
What a beautiful game for them, honestly. Just like the way that they protected their jungle, the way that they understood that they didn't need to be the aggressors in this game.
But, you know, who knows? They sort of came out of the gate swinging, looking okay in game number 1. This is definitely a departure from what we've seen from them on the last tour. And it's something that people were wondering, how would it go? Switching over MC to the carry role, what do you think?
There's a lot to unpack, let's be honest. I don't know if we were going to be able to break it down in a single game, but yeah, so...
Oh, we will.
Okay, fair enough. Off we go. Yeah, so Mind Control going into the carry role. This might now be the rest of the tour. We kind of saw it, at least in that previous game, through playstyle-wise. Amar was, trading farm for aggression, so we're kind of seeing it in game 1, now in game 2. I think my concern with Nigma's lineup right now is just when do the cores sync up with their timings, right? Like, Amar being a greedy Razor player, even on OG, when's the timing that enables everything? So I'm going to look to see when that happens. Maybe it presents itself after laning phase, but for now, Entity are going to be in the driving seat in regards to draft comfort, I feel.
Okay. Well, I can definitely agree with that. And I think that what has definitely proven to be a successful formula for Entity on occasion is just give Watson everything. Give this guy a great game. He will try and put you on it, put you on his back and just carry you through it. Entity picking up 3 of those bounty runs, by the way. And what a better way to do that than with this Katomi Magnus? It's a position for Mag. He's going to be more free to run around, give that Empower away, and that does set us up for a bit of a weird one on the side of Entity with its position 3 snap. So I think it's still a really good hero. It's a great combo for it. Maybe we see some like Cookie into skewer back plays as well. Who knows?
It's so much damage from a Mag Snap fire lane, right? Like the Magnus will just go mana boots. You're going to have Shockwave, Scatter Blast, Fire Snap Cookie. Like it is going to be an abundance of pressure and fight in this lane, and that's not really what Spectre likes to play into. So for Kuroki, he needs to find some early levels, probably just go enchant and heal, and try and just survive through the lane, because this is a killer combo in the offlane from Entity.
It's so difficult to deal with, and yeah, something that they definitely are going to need to be very wary of, particularly if that lane pulls back and is close to the tower, because Kuro will just die if he gets skewered back, most likely, with all of that burst magical damage.
Yep, already. Katomi, he's blocked the small camp, he's then body blocked the hard camp, not allowing Kuroki to have any potential enchant. Of course, he's got the heal level 1, but just Look at the damage from this.
Yeah, it's no joke. Forced to skill up that heal and use it there, Kuro, as they also pull the creep wave past Amar, already somewhat low down here on the bottom side of the map. I am going to have trouble distinguishing between those hero portraits. I'm not going to lie. The Faceless Void and the Razor, he's putting on a cosplay right now with that freaking Arcana.
In the future, Nigma might have both of the heroes in the same team, so get ready for that one.
I'm ready. Well, you can see the esportbet.io odds very much, again, into the favor of Entity in this game, but there were moments where it looked okay last game. There were moments where things were starting to feel decent, but there was always that like impending sense of doom that was coming their direction. As MC did get that creep wave pulled back behind, so with the simultaneous pull coming out the other way, and Amar, even though the drain's going on, Watson says, I don't care, ready to fight. A couple more punches. They have the Fairy Fire. It is going to be first blood going the way of Amar, but Watson, he survives through it.
Yeah, you see Watson, he's gone for the time dilation, time walk build. He doesn't even have a point in bash, so he's utilizing slow, the fact that Razor has multiple spells to spam.
And Kuro did get skewered back behind the tower, or maybe that was just playing around with the creep wave that was there. Regardless.
Taking the creep for a walk here.
Yeah. We'll just take a long walk away from there.
But this is not really what you expect or want from your Enchantress lane, right? Normally by minute 2 or 3, you've already got a creep. You start pulling out a hero, so yeah, I think Entity will be very happy. And now already straight onto mind control. They know that the Enchantress is deep in the dire jungle.
Oh, skewer back. Obviously not anywhere close to tower, but still can keep some pretty good pressure there onto MC. 8-2 so far versus the 10-3 of the Snapfire. The only lane where they're coming out ahead is Sumail facing off against this Invoker. 15-6 versus the 12-3. Doesn't quite connect there onto the chains. Stormstorm are able to create enough separation.
Yeah, the classic Quaswex Invoker against Ember Spirit. Of course, it forces Ember to not go any points into Flame Guard. You now go into Chains and Sleight of Fist. And yeah, I think both heroes should be able to farm up quite nicely. Of course, Sumail taking, the early lead. We even saw that in the previous game. The question will just be, how do they secure the runes to prevent Sumail from further continuing his aggression on the map?
Oh my god. Dude, I see these matchups that Sumail plays, and it's just like, annoying. I feel like it shouldn't be this good. I feel like he shouldn't be this good. You think about this always as the counter pick, and obviously making the change up like you're talking about of slight chains instead, but he's still just like really hurting on him.
I feel like most Dota players have experienced the slight spam of an Ember Spirit, and when you're a Quas Invoker with no points exhort, no damage, it's like it's hard to CS. Sure, you're annoying him, but yeah, Nigma, they really need Sumail to pop off, because in regards to like map plays, you've got Ench who can with a creep enable the map to some degree, but no one else is looking to do anything. Everyone wants to kind of sit in a lane and farm, so Sumail really has to take the reins and do it, and already he's just diving Storm once again. He got first blood.
Oh my god. Is he going to go all the way in for it? Sumail with the bottle charge and the rundown. I think he's fully committing.
RNG go.
Oh, he gets the root and almost gets him killed. This is what I mean, like, even these little things, he's back behind the tower, so freaking aggressive, ready to go out again.
Stop, calm down.
Spamming the slight on him constantly. Stormstormer can't come up to the wave, it's too scary.
And he's got another slight change as well.
Got him, and tries to survive through it. Tornado, buying more time. I mean, I feel like he shouldn't be allowed to do this, but he just is, always.
I mean, Invoker has 20 regen per second right now. He's got the Ring of the Health, the Tower Aura, 3 points in like the 3 quads orbs available. So, yeah, I mean, Stormstorm with his build is able to survive through it. Not many heroes could.
MC needing to get away. He's just dying to the right clicks. Doesn't have Cookie out in time. Cookie's Katomi. There's the stun. There's the kill. Very well played as they're able to punish up here top.
Yeah, and as soon as the mana boots come online, that's going to really just unlock this lane to do what it needs to do. Like Magnus and Snapfire, they just need a big mana pool to be able to continue poking down pre-Blade Mill.
Glimpse to break that link, rather. And a fissure. Okay, now Fishman kind of caught on the wrong side of it. Will drop down the kinetic field of his own. Gets brought down so low, 15 HP, but he does survive through it in the end. So both off lanes getting pretty aggro. To be honest, all 3 lanes just getting aggressive in general. As GH keeps on tempting fate forward, trying to punish Watson there. We'll get another time walk out, so he lives.
And the glimpse.
Amar.
But no tower re-aggro. There was a couple melee creeps under the tower, so yeah, Amar was able to survive there.
It's close. Nonetheless, a really, really back and forth game a little bit between these lanes in terms of who's the one that's putting on the aggression. Sumail got level 6, went back home, and then Remnant's in again. As GH will continue to try and farm up and have a decent laning stage for himself as well.
Just looking back at mid lane, Sumail's just under the tower again. Like every time Stormstormer wants to try and do something, he's just getting slighted. You know, Kuroki, he even killed off Storm's courier.
Remnant, chase, chains there.
Ooh.
Oh, the stun, it's enough for the kill.
Yeah, it's got Bottle and Fairy, so it shouldn't be down to the tower. But maybe the Glimpse.
Remnant doesn't have the mana.
2 mana.
Oh, and Fishman, that is a lot of XP. Holy crap. He's level 5 now.
Bossman's about to hit level 6. Oh no. Okay, yep. Fishman's about to have the best entry to a game that you could ever ask for.
Yeah, that is going to be really insane.
Yeah,
although, that does mean Watson's alone down bottom here, and he's going to start to get punched a little bit. Still hanging on to that time walk, so uses it now to get away. And Stormstormer makes the rotation, actually. Wanting to find the kill here on Omar, gets a lucky bash and gets the kill.
You just gotta love the discipline from Watson there. Like some players there instantly time walking away, but he understands. Like Storm's like, guys, I can TP, just chill, like bait them in.
MC, he might be in more trouble now too. Oh, he gets away. Never mind. The heal was there. Didn't have a cookie.
He's growing stronger. You know, the stick, the Wraithband, the Chainmail, plenty of ways for MC to survive up and tank up, especially with the Nature's Attendants behind him. But yeah, so far laning phase, you just look at the net worth, all 3 cores on Entity, thriving.
And that is the level 6 reveal.
8 minutes, yep.
Sumail, very, very low. Glimpse pulls him back in. The turn now with the rotation in from GH, but Katomi nearby, ready with the skewer if things get a little bit testy. They get the kill onto Fishman, and now another kill maybe going to be gifted over to him. Doesn't matter if they got that level kill, kill with the Disruptor, as they bring down both of the supports. And
VoidSnapfireMagnusInvokerDisruptor with Chrono.
Just walking away. Watson drops the Chrono, and that's going to be enough to secure the finish. Watson even gifted that kill. So Stormstormer rotates to his lane, gets a kill, and then they rotate in the other one, and they get a kill here too.
I feel like if you're Nigma here, you're pretty happy with the fact that the level 6 Disruptor, there wasn't that additional damage source. So, you know, Sumail getting even a couple kills, that could have just been like the end of his game in regards to his momentum if he was to get shut down once more. So
looking for it here. Kisses. And speaking of the end of his game, MC gonna die up top. That one's a little rough.
This is not really a lane you enjoy playing, that's for sure.
Watson.
Everyone's just fighting non-stop.
Time walk to get out of there. And Sumail keeps the chase going for Fishman. The time dilation will connect onto Amar, but not on Sumail. And now up top, Kuro is going to be found. Kuro is going to get punished too. So Entity, they lose their support down bottom, but find the one up top. And Meteor Hammer, it is online. But the Fissure.
Yeah!
They found the answer!
Woo! We've got the counter, boys!
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that matters a lot. Like, the fact that he just doesn't get a free Meteor Hammer over and over and over again, I feel like GH just follows him around.
100%. Like, 24-second cooldown on Meteor Hammer was like 17. Yep, 17 scaling to 15. Like, yeah, this Earthshaker, all he has to do is just follow Stormstormer, hit the stun, and now this gold is all wasted on the Invoker for now.
That's awesome.
What an incredible counter.
Just have the Fissure ready. Why not? Mid lane.
Oh,
they
there
got a
is another
Fissure
one.
to use for something else. Stormstormer blocked off and killed. So Nigma pulling things together here. Maybe I was premature to call it the end of the game there for poor old Spectre. MC getting involved.
You calling the 9-minute GG on a Spectre.
I mean, look, it was looking rough up there for a little bit. He's still bottom of the cores. Katomi's almost out of him.
Yeah, that's fair. But I feel like this is what Nigma wanted to do in the previous game, and this is probably the team talk that they had, right? It's like, if we're against this Invoker doing Hammer, we need to take down his tower. We need to, you know, progress the map state a little bit. So, yeah, so far, much better performance entering the game.
Sumail.
Oh, no, the central!
They got him.
There
all.
it is.
The echo's enough.
That was
well
close.
Played. But now, can't Fissure me now, can you, GH? Stormstormer moves on in, and, well, they're going to pair together for a kill, but Sumail Now he is maybe in some trouble. Katomi ready, RP onto 2, ready for the skewer back. Connects on the Static Storm. Fishman right there. Get on back over here, buddy. The glimpse, oh, it was a little bit late, and then jumps in.
Clean.
Fishman goes down by Sumail, and they can't even get the edge.
Some clean remnanting from Sumail there.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. This is the fun part of the game where either team can get these like cheap kills with all the spells, but they nearly just grief themselves with the Centaur creep. And Kuroki, farewell, boss. Thanks for showing in the lane, but when Toby's here, you're gonna go down.
Well, another round of Meteor Hammer, this time on to MC, is gonna force him back. Does have that Blade Mail already completed on the Spectre at the very least, but you can see sort of the way that this is tilting a little bit. And also the big thing is, you know, you've got this like Mask of Madness done on Faceless Void. Katomi's playing nearby him, so when he wants to farm, as soon as Katomi gets some points in power,
he's
helpful.
not loving it, boss. He's enjoying himself right now. You know, 4-point Shockwave, 2-point Skewer.
He'll be there soon, surely.
I would be, yeah, I'd say maybe like a casual point at 8, and then he can look for Skewer after. Could also be an option.
MC, no mana. The ward dropped down and looking for a fight now. Gets him right on the edge, and Mortimer's Kisses paired together with it is going to be the easy bring down. So Watson gets the kill onto Amar and going to go and take his Ancients.
All right. I don't want to put any cause for concern for any Nigma fans out there, but we'll watch this mid engagement first, and then I'll raise the point.
Oh, go for it. Oh, there's nothing going on here.
Okay, so, oh, hold on a second. Sumail's looking.
It's fine.
He's tickling.
Surely.
Just you wait.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely going to come.
So Amar's going Midas. Oh, no. Oh, okay. God, he changed it. He's got BKB. Okay.
There it is.
He scared me. That's why I paused. You know, I wanted to give him the opportunity to maybe change his itemization before I talk about it.
That's fair.
He died, tabbed in Midas, respawned, tabbed in BKB. And, like, if he goes
Reformed.
Midas, it reformed. Woohoo! Let's go, baby. It's like, if he goes Midas, Etta GG, Entity, congratulations. You know, I don't think you can go Midas with a Spectre on your team. Like, it's too much. So I'm so happy that I paused and allowed him to, you know,
absolutely,
to reconsider.
Well, let's see how this one goes, because there is a smoke gate coming down his direction. They find Kuro. Mar thinks about going for a moment. Ooh, RP was not actually used, but they were thinking about it.
It looked pretty.
Do have no Mortimer's Kisses for another 40 seconds. So Entity, in spite of rotating down here, aren't actually going to go for the full commitment.
Yeah, the key thing for Nigma right now is they need to utilize Sumo. When he feels strong, they need to back him up and throw bodies to make kind of chaos and just events happen on the map. Because right now, MC, if the game is in like a static state, there's going to be a Snapfire running at him, either a Stormstorm Invoker throwing out, taking away his mana, like things to annoy him. And they really need the Spectre to scale into the game. Because Spectre, fundamentally, is a very good pick against the heroes of Entity. It's like it counters near all of them if you have a good game. But yeah, so far it's not looking too good.
Sumail, he might be in trouble here. The Meteor Hammer's coming down. It lands. The RP ready afterwards. Skewer back. Dodges Remnants away. But Sumail, he's going to die. Katomi likely to go down in return, though.
Damn.
So the trade-off there is a Disruptor and a Mag for the Ember. Maybe could have used that RP earlier, but I think they still go down to the Echo Slam anyways.
I got to remember that I'm casting, because I see these cool plays and I'm just like about to scream and like, wait a second. There's people listening to this. I can't just get excited over random stuff every single time. That was a nice little dodge. Still goes down in the end, but yeah. This is like kind of where Nigma will thrive. It's like that Sumo X Factor with like Ench and Earthshaker are like incredible supports, like propelling heroes to do more in fights. And like it's kind of the chase down. Like when you get Razor BKB, Amar can play like the Slark in the previous game, just like A-click into the enemy jungle and absorb some spells. But I think that's where Entity need to be careful. It's like you can...
Speaking of being careful, actually, they've got 4 heroes coming down here. Toby does have Greaves at the ready. And, well, he might need to use it. Pops it immediately. Has the cookie to get over the hump. Makes his way away. And now, Kinetic Field down onto 2 with the Mortimer's Kisses. Amar, he's in very far and going to be dropping, it looks like. So they do manage to get the counterplay, and now GH is also going down. So Entity, reading the movement down bottom, managed to turn it again. I mean, ganking the top net worth hero feels good, but when backup can get there, it's rough.
Yeah, it's you're playing against good vision and a disruptor. You're always going to get punished if you're not decisive with your engagement. And that is somewhat the weakness of Nigma's lineup. They don't cleanly execute a hero if they find them, right? It's a lot of chip, it's a lot of poke, outside of maybe that Echo Slam. And I think that's why the panel is having some concerns of Nigma's lineup. It's when Void does get items, like, how do you kill off a farmed Void? Like, GH can't do everything in the fight. He can't 100 to 0 Void and then kill everything else as well, or at least lock them down.
No, it's true, and GH is getting closer to that Blink Dagger, which is going to help to enable that, and maybe then you can make a couple like movements around trying to find Watson somewhere and kill him off, as Fishman has just been chased around by these creeps for a while now. Watson wanting to find Kuro.
Oh, a courier finds him.
Goes right underneath, but doesn't look like they caught sight. So he's just going to be sitting here for a little bit, AFK for a bit. Perfectly fine. Meteor Hammer in towards mid. And that should be the tier 1 going down.
Took longer to take it this time around. It was like, what was it, like minute 9 in the previous game? Now minute 17. No joke aside, the Shaker kind of did actually prevent Stormstormer from having a very fluid game in regards to his hammer usage.
Oh yeah. No, it was really good, I felt like. The problem was that they just brought a bunch of heroes then.
Yeah, that's also true, yeah.
And then killed the Shaker.
Shaker +1.
Watson spots MC. Now, he does have Chrono, but no friends nearby to go for the kill. They're going for the kill down bottom. And they are going to find Mr. GH, who did not get the Blink Dagger delivered to him and is going to fall.
But he did buy it at least, so it's not as if it's going to delay. When we think about initiators, Mag just complete Blink, Earthshaker completes Blink. So both teams have an opportunity to accelerate the game with a smoke into a big pickoff.
Right. There is always, on the side of Nigma, going to be that advantage, though, of having the Spectre haunt to, like, you know, start some of these fights off and maybe find that Katomi Magnus right at the start, breaking his blink. But we'll have to see if that actually happens or not.
Yeah, I feel like for Nigma, they have a couple ways to start an engagement. It can be Kuroki, just A-clicking into the enemy jungle. You know, some Nature's Attendants. Ooh, whatever, I'm an Ench, right? If you kill me off, then at least I'll give vision for everyone else to take the fight. Or on the flip side, of course, it will be Amar when he eventually picks up the BKB. But yeah, for now, Nigma, they have the Blink, they have the Haunt. They got everything they need to punish, but they easily can get wiped here, right? You're going into Static Storm, Chrono, and RP.
But they find Fishman. This is a good one to start it off with. So the Fissure out. Sumail will drop here. Will they be able to connect for any more afterwards? Or will they just sort of retreat back?
They're whittling down the big resources, right? Like, RP's on cooldown for 40. You got Static Storm on cooldown for 80 now. In the back of their minds, it's like, we only care about Chrono now. Of course, it's probably one of the best spells to deal with this aggression, but still, it is giving a window for Nigma to try and take a fight to Entity, even with their 3k lead.
They really need to be able to take this tower away, and it doesn't feel like any of them are really confident to stand there. I mean, Amar is just running down bottom right now.
It's a pointless exercise, really. Like,
yeah.
you got to find kills. If you try and go for towers, you don't really have a building hitter. You can't rely on the Ench creep. Razor doesn't want to do it. Like, you're going to get hit by some Mortimer Kisses or a Glimpse or something. Even the Chrono that we're mentioning.
Oh, Mar. Oh, Mar.
Farewell.
He is going to be in some trouble now, and they have the Meteor Hammer, will land. Don't even need to use the Chrono. Ench is dying on the other side. That one hurts. They saw him walk by under full vision of that ward and then just TP'd and killed him.
Yeah, they don't really have a way to start the fight. It's why this game feels uncomfortable for Nigma. Like, sure, you have the Shaker, right? But it's like you smoke to mid-tier 1, one Tornado to disengage, and it's like, do we really want to dive deep behind this? Not really. And then, of course, Entity, they read that movement. After a smoke up, your team naturally wants to disperse to kind of recover the wasted gold and XP from grouping up. And yeah, Entity can just isolate that one hero. And of course, it's going to be Amar trying to push the limits on where he can farm and gets punished once again. Well,
you can see right now, Entity very much in a controlling position, but they want to try and find some type of a pick-off here. Stormstormer going to get caught. The root is there. Tornado goes on to both of them. The disarm for the pushback, so they don't have control for him yet. Underneath the ward, so can't even go for the Ghost Walk away. And Nigma, they pick up the kill. A much-needed one on Stormstormer.
Yeah, a critical kill. And also MC, we haven't really mentioned him too much, but he's getting back into the game slowly. He's going to have that Axe complete, so that exact play that we just saw, next time around, it's not a Haunt, it's going to be the Axe instead. You're going to be jumping on top of the Shadow Step. And yeah, you can increase the pace of the game. But this is pretty much Nigma's best timing in the next 5 minutes. It will be the Axe on Spectre, the BKB on Razor, and look to go fight, fight, fight.
Still getting closer and closer to that one being done. But they do also already have the answer, obviously, with the Mag Blink RP ready to go if things get a little bit testy.
And a Chrono. I'm trying not to say that again and again, but it's like...
it's dangerous.
Entity have the tools. That's the thing. Like, to be very clear, Entity's draft in this game, it's like they have all the tools to deal with Nigma's lineup. Like, I don't think anyone looking at this is like, wow, Nigma has got like this incredible OP scaling draft, right? It's like outside of Spectre, Entity on paper should be able to deal with what Nigma has. So it's on Nigma to find these elements of kind of map play.
Well, they are going to find Kuro there and maybe keep him alive even.
Oh no, it's an Enchantress, mate. Look at him.
There's the better play that they're going for off to the side, which is trying to take down Roshan. So BKB done now for Watson as they're going to claim the Aegis. And, I mean, Haunt is not at the ready either, so yeah, they really can't do anything to try and come and steal this.
Yeah, they're just not ready for this at all. Alacrity on top of the Void, Master Madness plus Master, and plenty of damage to deal with this.
Oh, Amar, he has his BKB, but RP already used. They pull him back in, try and kill him off, pops the BKB, turns for a fight. Watson actually starting to drop, has a time walk to get out of there. Has Alacrity still going? Is he going to be in trouble? They burn through the Aegis at the start. That is about as good as it gets for Nigma. Can they find any more? Didn't want to pop his BKB for that usage. So Entity, they whiff on the first go on a Mars BKB.
Yeah, some rare mistakes in the team fight from Entity. You know, you got the RP, but you don't hit the Sunstrike, the skewer back from the follow-up. Yeah, of course, nice positioning from GH to disengage a little bit with the fissure to disjoint Watson's kind of entry to the fight. But yeah, that was the perfect opportunity for Nigma to not get rolled over with a very quick clinical Roshan, or Aegis, sorry, from Entity.
Right, and I think the biggest thing there is it really extends the timing when maybe Nigma can take advantage of like these couple of items that are online, right? You can maybe take a fight now with Razor BKB, which is going to be decent. Ember's almost got Sanj and Kaya, which is going to help him out to increase that damage and survivability. But you do still have this sort of looming threat and danger of, you know, Invoker getting out of control late game with the Faceless Void.
Yeah, and on the flip side, actually, now that I think about it more, there is a chance where Nigma, if they overcome like the mid game and get it to like a later state of the game, tankiness could be their best friend. Like, can a Razor die inside a Chrono if he has, let's say, like AC, Halberd, the BKB? I see in his quick buy, he's got like a heart, for example. Like, there is a scenario where this Razor gets so tanky that, you know, Spectre, Ember, they are, you know, late game enjoyers. They easily can scale. So there's this part of the game not too great for Nigma. Of course, they can get absolutely wiped, but I can see like some end game with some comeback potential if Nigma does struggle in the next 10-15 minutes, if they can get to these big items that they're hoping for.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it's definitely a big question mark. And I think the thing that I want to watch for is, like, now that you've lost this Aegis as Entity, do they still want to try and play sort of in that domineering fashion across the map, or are they going to be more comfortable taking it to the late game? I remember so many of those Entity games when we were in the tiebreakers where it was just game after game going 60 minutes or something like that. And who knows, you know, the patch didn't change that much. Might get another one in it for us.
I mean, I kind of hope so. I feel like Entity, they are one of the better teams at producing these 60-minute bangers, if not longer. And this one does have the potential to shape up to be like it. In Entity, they are itemizing for the moment. You've got this Blink on Invoker, Disruptor going for Tranks into Drum, most likely going to be going Boots of Bearing at the after, so it's like... yeah, they have itemized for a very mid-game lineup, and if they whiff on some spells like they did in the top lane, then, yeah, you know, Nigma, they will be able to survive through it, weather the storm.
Well, Toby does have the almost full pipe completed as... Wait a minute, are they going for a little bit of a battle here?
They tried to.
Couldn't quite connect. Fishman waiting for one more to show. But nobody is going to do that on the side of Nigma. But yeah, The early goings is still a slight lead, about 3,000 gold into the favor of Entity, as TPs are going down bottom instead, and they actually found him. Toby in no man's land gets caught. Already used the cookie, already used the force staff, going to be brought down. So Nigma able to dodge the gank top and then find a kill bottom.
Yeah, and that's what Entity have to be careful for. When they're ping-ponging around the map, trying to go for these pickoffs like they did in the previous game, like they're trying to do in this game, a failed TP into no pick, it gives Nigma that opportunity. Like, they have to respect the Spectre being able to follow up on anyone that they find.
And particularly now that Earthshaker has that shard too, your angle of initiation and control can be way bigger because, you know, Spectre obviously with Shadow Step and just a jump can do a ton, particularly if they're just, you know, stunned for the duration of it. They run in. Ready to go. Watson's there, does have the chrono ready if he wants to drop it, but just will back away with that BKB. So Nigma starting to hit their stride.
Yeah, I feel like Entity, after this Aegis, they've not really been able to put themselves in a position to utilize their counter-aggressive heroes, and they're giving Nigma quite a lot of map to play. We're not really feeling the threat of the chrono, and you know, Dota's one of those games where it's like, even if that you have the heroes and spells, like if you're not using them, your opponent gets the confidence to continue playing with that playstyle, and I think that's exactly what's happening with Nigma right now. It's like, why are we caring about this chrono? Why do we care about this static storm? Like, they're not using it that well right now. Let's continue trying to build an advantage.
Right. Well, I will say that I think as this game gets later and later, my worry about this, you know, Magnus and power with Chrono and all the other things that we've talked about, it does become bigger and bigger. But
oh, for sure, 100%.
Could be a rough timing here, particularly if they can keep making use of this, like Earthshaker Fissure within the Shadow Step cooled combo. Would be really nice coming out from Nigma if they can make that move.
I've never seen a more impactful 2-5 Razor before than this BKB Halberd. Like, Amar's playing a whole new playstyle of offlane, which is like, he doesn't initiate, he just kind of aggressively exists.
There you go.
And it's kind of working out, especially in this game. It's giving everyone else some
look at this smoke
platform to play on.
Fishman, Katomi, Amar runs right into both of them. RP thought about it, but Static Storm down, and now Katomi drops it, the skewer to pull away one. Watson focuses now onto Amar, but down south it's Sumail who's running after Toby. Will get the cookie to run away from him, and now Shadow Step forward, finds that Snapfire, gets the kill. GH controlling now onto Stormstormer, nowhere left to go. Watson just has to run away. So they will still chase there after Watson does manage to create some separation and get out of harm's way for the moment, but it's not for forever, as the chase is still going, and eventually they're going to give up on it, it looks like.
You know, GH is looking. He might try to blink Fissure just to... Go on, blink, get it! Oh,
can't get him.
Yeah, I mentioned this aggressively existing strategy, and it's kind of what's happening, right? He walks up, Entity go to initiate on him, it's like, wait a second, what are we doing? And then the rest of Entity, very kind of discombobulated with how they want to take that fight. You know, there's a lad to the left, lad to the right, nothing's really connecting, and we're not seeing the chrono into Sunstrike, into, you know, Mortimer Kisses. It's very much just every man for themselves and hope to survive. And of course, Nigma, they're going to thrive with this. Razor running through, Ember running through.
It fits really well with their style. And
yeah,
you did see the gem get taken away too. So Earthshaker now has Fishman's gem. They're going to try and shut down more of this map and take away the vision, force them to play in the dark. But they're looking up top right now, trying to find Sumail. Will they be able to get him? Chrono is out. The Meteor Hammer to follow. Is it going to be enough damage? Yes. So the easy movement up top finds the kill with that Chronosphere.
Took them about 10-15 minutes to find that punishment, but you know, Entity, they've been able to, you know, finally connect on some of their big spells now. And yeah, just remind Nigma that they can take the fight if they are able to, you know, clean up their act a little bit.
Right.
But with Sumail down, this should be in theory a tier 2 falling for, or going the way of Entity.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing to me, that like this hero on Faceless Void just becomes so weird and insane and strong, where like you start to become a problem even when you don't have Chronosphere. Like you get that Aghanim Scepter or what have you, he is going to be an issue. But they're sticking around up top. Entity wanting to get the most out of this with Sumail gone. Now GH is nearby, ready to jump in at a moment's notice with level 2 Echo. And it looks like as the rest of the team shows up from Nigma, Entity will decide to retreat.
Okay. And I respect that. You know, Nigma, they actually throw some bodies up here. They don't do anything else on the map, so yeah, just kind of reminding Entity that they'll still look to do it. They'll still look to fight. Yeah, they're very uncomfortable right now, actually. I don't think they're enjoying this game in any way. Like, the fact that it's been about 15 minutes of just awkward fights.
Well, Roche, very quick respawn there on it. So that is back up again.
Chrono up in 45 seconds, so Nigma, if they are to scout it out, of course they do have Manta on Spectre. Like, there are ways to do it, but I'd be surprised if either team was to rush into the pit due to their kind of counter-aggressive capabilities in these choke points.
I will say that, like, with this window, if they show a couple of heroes, they might be willing to go. And actually, it looks like they are going. Yeah, nope.
Instant scan.
It's a really quick spawn, but they are going to see that it's going down now. Watson wanting to make the move over. Still 15 seconds until Chrono's back offline. They're going to smoke. They need to go without him. Watson's going to show up to this one a little bit. Well, actually, he's with them right now. But Mortimer's Kisses goes out. Amar trying to be the bulwark in front of all of them. Katomi says, I don't care, but the skewer back onto one, but they find it onto Watson. Control is there. Tornado out. Roche still dropping lower and lower. Sumail trying to keep Katomi away. They have him down low, and, well, Watson is in a ton of trouble, but they drop it down immediately. Watson able to do it, but MC's the one that got the Aegis. Does he have enough to kill off Sumail here? I'm not so sure. A really good Chrono connects onto the Enchantress too, but he can't go in. Has to back away.
There's just no damage.
The rest of the team is gone. Watson looking for the TP out. GH not going to have it. Watson's still going to make him work for it for a little bit here, but eventually they're going to be able to run down this Faceless Void most likely. Although he is pretty freaking annoying, and GH does have the time dilation, so his Blink Dagger keeps on being broken. Watson trying to make his way out of here. Creating some separation. Stormstormer's nearby.
Keep running.
Amar. Oh, there's the fissure and the deafening blast, the pushback.
What the hell am I watching?
Lift up and, well, Watson, he's still getting away.
You got it, boys. Go, go, go.
He's going everywhere. He's going to get down to the low ground to the other side.
Keep going, boys.
And Katomi four-stabs him out of there. But Ghost Scepter, pull back. Excuse me, MC. Almost in some trouble. Could get glimpsed again if they want to go for that now. But MC's going to be away, and somehow, some way, Watson survives through it all.
Oh, God. Cue the clowny chase music, that's for sure. Yeah, I think Nigma really, they're hoping they had like one stun, one hex, one something, but whew.
Nothing there.
Nothing there at all.
Damn.
Fight-wise, though, again, it just proves for Nigma, like, they are the kings of the fight right now if they can just make it chaotic. If this Amar Razor, who just, you know, gets to the backlines, prevents Entity from, like, formulating their spells perfectly, also doesn't help for Entity. I think they were late with the smoke. When they got to the area, Toby threw in the Mortimer's Kisses in the hope to disjoint that Roshan. And, yeah, once again, I just feel like Entity, they have all the team fight in the world, but sometimes you have too much team fight, where, like, getting it off at the same time, making it feel good, can be hard. And I think that's the issue of Entity right now. It's so much that can go well for them, but you can't do it when it's the fights aren't, you know, cleanly set up for you under your own vision.
Right. Well, and I think that some of that too is, like, you know, Nigma definitely taking full advantage of a moment that is sort of like hard to replicate, right? Mm-hmm. Roche respawning, they scout it, they have vision, like almost instant spawn, and then it's suddenly Entity have to run across the map and get to them.
Yeah.
I'm wondering over the next couple of minutes if that type of thing is going to be able to continue as, yeah, quick and easy blow up there. MC makes it happen.
It also helps when in the previous game when Fishman popped off in this Disruptor, now it's like if you see him for a second, MC has one job, just kill him. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, even if MC dies, you've got this Razor and Ember behind you, and I had a lot of concerns about the greediness of Nigma's lineup. I was worried if they could get this into the game. And yeah, I think 35 minutes in, they are happily in this game where no way do they have scaling issues now.
Right, and it's just going to come down to more of how does the sort of gameplay work? What's the vision like? How do they find him on the map? And that type of stuff.
Yeah, and it helps, you know, Kuroki with his build, he's got the Holy Locket, the Glimmer Cape, extra magic resist on his 10. Like, he can just stand up front and create this vision.
That was a pretty bold attempt right there to go onto him, and Stormstormer shows up. MC is in pretty far.
He has an
Still
Aegis.
has the Manta, but looks like he's willing to sort of put himself very far forward aggressively.
The heart is complete, boss.
Yeah.
4,000 HP on a Mar.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, he's going Hex after that into Refresher. His job is just to be the big boy that finds the backline and just prevents him. Like, Snapfire can't throw out spells from the backline. Razor's going to be on top of you. Again, Mag can't blink because of the Spectre Haunt. Disruptor can't really use Static Storm due to the abundance of BKBs. And yes, it honestly is such a difficult portion of the game from Entity. Like, this is probably not how it should have gone for them, at least, I think, in their minds.
Well, yeah, after that first Aegis, you sort of anticipated that things were just going to sort of follow that natural formulaic takedown tower after tower move, and then suddenly Watson loses the Aegis to the BKB turnaround from Amar, and it all falls apart. But obviously, with Invoker, with Faceless Void, having a mag position 4, can never fully count them out, but it is definitely Nigma that are kind of in the driver's seat at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games where Watson needs to get to the point where he's an aggressor without Chrono.
Yeah.
Like, he's going for Silver Edge right now, like he has Skadi. There's ways for him to threaten, but once he has that like independence from Chrono, and then on top of that, you have Invoker with some kill threat, the Shard, the level 20 talent with the media damage, maybe like a Hex Axe. Sure, the game can easily flip, but yeah, right now...
Mar just runs right in. Toby is getting gone on, gets stunned, gets controlled, and gets killed. So they do manage to bring that position 3 Snapfire down, and Razor popped his BKB. They just are not afraid, ready to keep going for more.
I mean, you don't want to show on the map if you're Entity. Like, if you show for a split second, there's going to be some Fissure from the Fog, some Shadow Step on top of you, followed up by Sumel's Ags remnanting from a mile away. Like, it is not easy for Entity to really push out lanes or show right now.
It's interesting. I haven't seen, I don't think, the Storm Surge move speed talent for the Razor. I feel like I almost always see the Eye of the Storm interval. But he's going around at 470 movement speed now. He is very swift.
He is tanky, he is swift, he is annoying, he is a Mar.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Stormer does hit that level 20, so has the Chaos Meteor damage talent. But even at 38 minutes, Meteor hammering towers as the BKB and the Ghost Walk run away will keep him alive.
The tower has fallen. It's like as annoying as like a Nature's Prophet with like the old school Shard, even when they used to buy Meteor Hammer. It's exact same concept. And that's pretty much what Entity can do right now. I feel like if they leave their base and smoke up, all Spectre has to do is press one horn, and the fight will be way too hard to play out. Like, even look, Katomi shows for a second, and already, like, shoot, get back to your base.
Right. Remnants away from that EMP. Mar can't keep the link going. Katomi still could look for an opening here. As Watson jumps forward, takes away that ward, then they're away. But yeah, 4,000 gold lead right now for Nigma. 17 to 20. As we get closer and closer to the super late stage dynamic, MC is definitely feeling like one of those heroes that, I mean, particularly once this Abyssal Blade is going to be done, that's when it's really rough.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Amar, down bottom. The Skewer pullback, they had him on the vision with that ward.
That's the damage.
Do they want to go all the way in for this one, though? Fishman, Force Staff tries to get away, but they did manage to get the glimpse to force him back. And now MC, he's already caught by the Chrono. Watson trying to do a damage. He doesn't know who to hit. He doesn't know which target to go for. The RP is there for round 2 after the Meteor Hammer, but they don't have the damage. They don't have nearly enough. Katomi forced to skewer away. And Watson also can only look on, although Toby jumps in and is definitely going to be going down right now. They had some really good control, but they don't have the damage.
I mean, Amar's living his best life right now. Like, this is what he wanted to do in the Slark in game 1, but now in Razor, he's able to do it, but like tenfold better. He starts the fight in a 1v5 situation, just walks into the middle of them, sets up for a haunt, and yeah, at that point, they've just used everything for nothing.
And now, no Chrono. Question is, what are you going to do at this point? Good fissure to separate that, and well, Katomi trying to get away from Amar. The slowdown is there with the Ice Wall. That probably keeps him alive. As Roche, another quick respawn. Amar has 15 seconds until his BKB is back off cooldown. Watson's not even here, though. And the Chaos Meteor damage, it's not nearly enough. They just shrug that one off. Watson finally shows back up. But Amar, he's just going to pop that ulti, walk away from him, jumps forward, wants to do what damage he can, and now the glimpse for the pullback, and Katomi says, get on into the fountain then. You're not going to go for anything else. We're going to find that final touch for a couple quick kills. Amar is still so low.
He got the kill!
He ends up getting him. They bring him down. Oh, Stormer. Well, yeah, you just survive through it. It's pretty rough.
Are we looking at a Game 3 ban Razor situation, or whew?
I don't know.
Look at his quick buy. He understands how tanky he is. He's going for the Bloodstone. Like,
it ain't break, don't fix it.
I mean, he's got Heart, a Halberd, a BKB, the Titan Sliver, throw in a Bloodstone instead of that Wraith Band. He is going to arguably be unkillable. The Fountain is all an entity need to kill him off.
Right. And I mean, I think that... Oh, wait a minute, though. Are they going to get this? So the dagger goes out. We're 50 seconds with no Razor. I mean, it's a dangerous proposition, but I feel like they got to go for something big here.
They have to. Like, even just forcing the Razor buyback, prevent that next item coming in, like, the economical damage.
They want to take a fight first, though. They take away that vision. Watson thinking about starting it, and they decide to go. Now, with the rest of Nigma here, it's a... Well, pullback. They find the Enchantress. Kuro in trouble, but MC has already jumped into this fight. Remnant Echo Slam, though, connects on to 2, and then the RP. It's not going to be enough. Watson down to half HP. He's dying to this Spectre, but they do manage to get the kill nonetheless, and they also get that Ember. But now the turn, Sumail shows back up, and they're going to blow him up. Watson goes down. Toby soon to be next. They use the buyback on both the Spectre and the Ember, and then they're going to win that fight, earn themselves the Aegis. Katomi tries to blink away, but he blinked into a fissure, and GH was always going to find him.
Double buybacks, but, you know, such critical buybacks, you get the Roshan yourself. You got to respect Entity trying to go for it. I think they showcased what they could have done, like 20, 30 minutes ago, what they could have done with their spells, but just a little bit too late for them. And now, yeah, Nigma throw the Aegis onto Spectre. Refresh onto Sumo. Yeah.
And, I mean, you can see how good this, like, could have been, and Watson, you know, doing a good chunk of damage, gets that RP off, but dying to, like, the blade mail on Spectre, it meant that when the buyback came out, there was just nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, and the whole kind of archetype of Nigma's aggression has been Amar at the front. So right. Sure, when Amar isn't there, Entity, of course, they can easily take the fight, can easily try and punish, but as soon as he re-emerges, and on top of that, how easy Ember is able to get back into the fight.
Oh, whoa, Fishman. Static Storm, gotta run away. Amar, he's ready to go into the fountain. And Fishman TP's back home from inside home. Nowhere is really safe. Amar will get glimpsed again. And doesn't look like he's that concerned.
He's got like 25 seconds of not caring. When Mag's up, of course, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Little skewer situation, of course, that'll be pretty bad. But yeah, for now.
Well, the plus side, if you're Entity, is that they've only lost the Tier 3. They're likely about to lose the first set of racks here in this game. But, you know, it's not easy. Force staff him in, actually, MC. Okay, 5 seconds until Mag is back up. If they can keep him here for a little bit longer, things could look okay. Watson jumps in too, still disarmed for a very long period of time, and Glimpse not off cooldown, so they can't quite pull him back, but the stun, the Hex, the RP, they catch it on both of them, and now Mortimer's Kisses, but they haven't finished off MC yet. They finally do. The Echo Slam is good, but not good enough. Watson jumps away, knows that Amar is too much to handle right now. They lose the Mag again. Fishman gets back to the fountain, but that is going to be the full walk away from him. And, wow, that one hurt.
Okay, and they have the Chrono back up. They're trying to do something.
Go on to Fishman. Force staff keeps him alive, and now the Chrono. It's down, but who's the target? Who's he going for? Watson finally chooses it. Has the second round maybe. Tries to bring down GH there. Does get the bash for the kill. Stormstormer manages to get away from Sumail, actually. This fight's still extending out somehow, some way, but Sumail goes into the fountain, kills off Stormstormer. Now they jump forward. Watson on to Amar. Still trying to bring him down. It is not easy to kill this Razor at all. And with the Meteors out, It is going to be the BKB in response. Ammar gets out of trouble, but now they glimpse him back in, and now the Static Storm is down, but the Hex is there. Stormstormer tries to do it. He doesn't have the spells off cooldown. Ammar's walking back into the fountain, trying to trade over the cheese into his inventory. That keeps him alive, but it might still get him dead nonetheless. MC, Tornado lift up, 3 seconds till Mag. He might be taking a trip to the fountain too. MC wants to get out of there, but the TP, Katomi going really far away, wanted to catch the backline, gets MC there, and MC is dying. Entity, they might have found something here. Entity find another kill. Now there's no buyback on either of those
It's 2
heroes.
minutes.
That is a huge problem. Oh my god, Entity, did they... Couldn't you just hit the towers?
I mean, they could have.
I don't know.
All right, boys, you see the line getting drawn. All right, Entity gonna run it down some lanes.
Oh god.
Okay, Ammar, he's very tanky. Got a little bit excited. Was probably screaming to the lads, "I'm unkillable," and the excitement got to them. It's, yeah.
Oh man, no buybacks on these heroes. It's Sumail in GH right now.
And there's still Chrono, because he refreshed, didn't use the second one.
Kuro does have buyback, but it's only an Enchantress. I mean, with no buybacks, this is a huge problem. They might just be able to end this game.
They do have 2 forts, though.
I mean, we'll see if it ends up mattering or not. They jump in with Sumail trying to kill off that creep wave, but they've got pipe. They're going to use the glyph there. But I think this is at least tier 3 down. Now, can they go for more? Do they know that these buybacks aren't there? They should actually.
They should go for it. They should go for it.
Looking for it. Trying to take this one down. Stormstormer, they step forward. They want to end this game right now. We've got 30 seconds until Ammar is back up. Can they take it down in time? The Hex is there. Enchantress in trouble, starting to drop, but eyes on the prize, focusing down these buildings. They now step forward. Mortimer's Kisses are there. Kuro, he's still living through all of this, but eventually they will get the kill onto the Enchantress. 10 seconds until Ammar is there. Watson ready to go with the Chrono. Does have the refresher on cooldown, but they jump in, try and kill him off, but no! They drop him down, he's in trouble. Katomi misses the RP, but it is gonna be GH falling. Now Watson, he needs 7 more seconds until he has another Chrono ready to go. Kuro, Ammar's still chasing. The Hex is there, onto this Mag. Do they try to turn this again? Doesn't look like it. Stormstormer just has to TP to get out of there, and
oh, they got
the root! It got him in time! And a kill there from Nigma, and suddenly the tables have turned.
The absolute back and forth, like, Entity, they see the window, they try and go for it, but the chip, the delay, you know, maybe they got a little bit baited by Kuroki there, and yeah, Stormstormer mistimes his BKB TP, and now we have to flip the script. Now Nigma just has to walk down lanes. Everyone's back alive. For sure, they need to respect this Chrono, this refresher available. But Mag being dead for 40 seconds, yeah, just so much damage.
You can see these esportbet.ios, they feel like this one's over, but that Rapier coming out right now. They buy a Deso.
They want to get out of this game.
I mean, you got to be careful. They don't know about the Rapier. Watson, he jumps in, jumps out, the skewer, the pullback, and now the Chrono! He's got them all! Oh, the damage from the fountain, it's enough! It's enough! It's enough! They got him! MC in trouble, starting to fall. Watson gets him! Katomi! He does it again! Kuro is gonna drop down! The fountain, the Rapier, everything! It all worked for them! Unbelievable! And now they're dead with a buyback again!
Katomi, you fucking beautiful human being. What the hell was that?
Oh!
They did not respect the buybacks once again.
Dude.
All right, run it back down mid, boys.
That is insane. 7,500 damage dealt by that Faceless Void. Watson's just farming right now. I mean, they got to go for this, I think, but at the same time, I mean, I don't even know. We'll take a look at that replay. What a freaking combo and what a bait.
But his buyback literally just come up in this fight. Like it was, he wasn't available, and then he insta buyback with them being in range. Of course, the refresher just really paying off for Entity, just being able to punish multiple times in a row now.
Jeez. And you can see
and
here.
Also, just sorry, look, here, when he puts the Remnant to the left side, he's also trying to like find some like catch plays here where he's trying to hopefully get him here, and like the entire time he's just thinking of the fountain. Yeah, look at him.
And now they want to try and end it again.
Right, okay, they buyback this time.
They have buyback on Amar, but you don't want to use it with 20 seconds left. They're still going to be able to focus down these buildings. Go for the tier 4 towers again. Watson, he's ready. He's trying to take it down. It's a lot of tankability for Amar, but can they keep him away from the Ancient? Do they have enough to do that? They're thinking about it. Amar steps forward. The disarm is there. The control, though, GH needs to be careful. Katomi finds Sumail again, but there's nothing to get out of that. Oh, man, both teams are feeling squirrely right now. The Haunt's out. They gotta be careful. MC jumps in. There's no fountain here to help you. Stormstormer thinking about a turn. The Hex is there onto the Ember. Toby needs to get away, but does not have the mobility to do it. Stormstormer, now he's hexed. They find him, chasing, killing, done. And Watson, the only one left alive right now, the only one with buyback. And that might finally spell the end. Although now, Nigma, they're so afraid they're gonna go get Roche.
Oh, come on.
They're like, guys, that fountain's really strong.
Brother, like, just time the buybacks, man. Like, you've seen them use them. I respect it. This game is way too chaotic. The comms are probably everywhere. They need to just, you know, probably stabilize themselves. And this is that stability, but I'm pretty sure if you timed them, you could maybe have done a punishment. But okay, you get the Roshan. What is it this time? It's Act, Refresher, Cheese, Aegis. It's an abundance of resources to not get fountain found once again from Entity.
They won this game. They absolutely won this game, and they still probably will on the side of Nigma, but this is another opportunity where if these heroes respawn in time, they might be able to do something. They're going for the tier 3 towers.
And Watson picked up a nullifier, so now he's going to be able to punish these Aeon discs that are coming out on the Razor.
Scary stuff.
We're going to get one more fight. That's the thing.
We'll see if that ends up happening in terms of, or if they just go for the all-in now. They could. Still 25 seconds without Katomi. He is so much of their fight right now. And you can see that they're deciding to go for Megas. Nigma do not want to test this. The question is, can they get it and get out cleanly? Because everybody's going to be alive then.
There's a fortification available. Right now, if anything, Sumail, he needs to utilize his Ag Shard to throw out these Remnants in the hope just to clip the Magnus, prevent those Blink initiations. He's already doing it now.
Oh my god, and Invoker is like 1.5 creep away from level 25 too, but the Meteor, Hammer, the Meteors are there. Hammer long gone, but look at him, MC. He's in some trouble, does still have that Aegis, don't want to use the Chrono if they don't have to. I can't believe that this game is still going.
A small play there, like he's trying to skew on the kinetic, so you can't get him through the kinetic, and potentially if he got him deeper, that could have been a thing, but why the hell is this game happening, lasting this long? I mean, Magnus is the answer. I mean, that's one thing.
We said we wanted to see 60 minutes. It might still happen. There's a very real possibility, because now Radiant, they've got buybacks. Everybody except for the Mag. Snapfire about to get it from gold.
Yeah, and I feel like NT, they don't care at all about any lanes lost here. Like, you've got plenty of ways to push out the creeps. So the fact that they weren't mega creeped, it gives them all the least of life. Like, it doesn't matter. The kill score, the net worth, nothing matters right now.
And for Amar, too, he invested into this Aeon Disc. With that Nullifier now there, this item becomes much less important.
Some might even say it's now like kind of a useless pickup in regards to the greater fight, but for Amar, if he's tanking the Chrono, he's probably excited anyways.
Right, that's fair.
He can survive through it. It's mainly for Entity. They need to be able to find a way to wrap around him to utilize a better Chrono on heroes. And again, you got a Refresher. You have 2 opportunities to hit a banger.
We did also talk, and we saw earlier, the Snapfire has gone for that level 20 talent, so Lil Shredder uses attack damage with the Daedalus done. So actual damage dealer on Toby, but they're moving in right now with a lot of heroes. Use 1 to start, get vision. Toby tries to back away, but MC is in, and Watson right on top of him gets a bash right there. Can they bring him down? Has to jump away for the moment. Still nothing used. Amar on top of Toby. Stormstormer, the Deafening Blast and the pushback. They're still chasing. The Hex is there. They got him caught. Toby in trouble. Second round Refresher is out. And Toby trying to get away, but won't be able to. Does have buyback. Dead on Disruptor. Now hexed up on Stormstormer. Watson waiting for his moment here. Does have Chrono ready. RP already used, and now the jump, they get him caught, and now the Meteors drop down too. They got them both dead. Do they have more left in the tank? Amar trying to back away. Watson jumps from him too. And MC still standing there, has the cheese in his inventory. The Hex is out. They have more control, but they don't have their Magnus. Now Fissure, the cookie to get him away. The Hex is out there too. The impetus shot from downtown, almost enough to get the kill, but he gets out of there again. Look at this. Back and forth we go. It's a buyback from Ember and a couple buybacks used on Entity. Stormstormer, Toby Fishman.
Still, Void has Refresher. Another Chrono is available. Again, they're fighting inside Entity's base. Skewer is incredibly strong here. Nigma, they have to respect it. Ember, of course, did use buyback.
Well, once he's back up again, that's still the issue at the moment. Watson does have, like you said, that Refresher ready to go. Doesn't want to use it yet, but might if the opportunity arises. Still dangerous, but MC, there's no real save for him. Kuro's there with the healing. Tornado lift up. GH looking to the side, wanting to find him. They even dropped down the gem, seeing if they can find vision onto Watson, and there he is. Jumps in, jumps out, Static Storm down, looking for the control. Do they have enough? Watson tries to find that backline. That's cheese used now too, as the glyph has been dropped down. Hex is out onto this Faceless Void. Force Staff keeping him alive. The melee racks is still there. Watson wanting to save this Chronosphere, wanting to save this Refresher, seeing if they can get the kill without it. A couple more hits. Rooted, drop down, dead, low. The Echo, the Force Staff to the other side, but he's Hex. He's in trouble, but he has that buyback. They take it down, they take the racks. Rapier in the hands of MC, but he does go down, and now Watson steals it back. So they get Mega. GH is gonna get caught and going to die here, as they also find the Hex onto Kuro. A little bit difficult to take down the Enchantress, but with Katomi there, it looks like they're gonna be able to. So they get the Mega Creeps, they take down 3 for it, but they all have buyback.
They didn't get the Rapier. The Rapier's on Amar now.
Yeah, they killed MC and stole it away.
Exactly. So,
a good play there, being able to steal that one out for Amar.
Yeah. Oh god, this is just a long drawn out game, but for Nigma at least, it's like now you get the Mega Creeps, you take away a Rapier, it's like just levels of insurance now. And of course, you still, fundamentally you have to respect that the inevitable fight with Magnus is able to actually contribute to the high ground, but
he's got a Rapier again now.
Yeah, he's back again. I mean, he has no buyback. There's no reason not to have it. 3 minutes away from the 60-minute mark. If anything, I'm trying to think what neutral items are going to be good here. It's for Nigma, it's like you want heroes that just allow you to push yourself out of this game, right?
Well, I mean, they also just got the Aghanims on the Disruptor, so that's something else to consider. Wait, Amar? Oh my God, double Rapier Watson. Dare we dream?
Throw it on the Snapfire. Daedalus Rapier plus your little Shredder.
Gets the vision down here. Katomi could place it. If they see somebody, it's a really good blow up there.
They're going to see him.
Spot him right away. Looks for Amar. Pulls him back, but the BKB already there. Yeah, now they see that the reward's in the area, and they're going to take those away.
Yeah, with the Mega Creeps coming into bot lane, it's a very split decision right now. Do they just commit for this moment?
He's going for the all-in, but the Hex is already there. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. BKB out, though, and now the Nullifier to turn it. The Ancient, it's starting to be hit. They need to come up with answers to this. Amar, down low, second Chronosphere. It's there. And Watson, now he has 2 Rapiers. Does he have the damage that he needs?
Get him out.
They turn their sights back. The Echo Slam is there on the Stormstormer. MC trying to find him. Is it going to be enough? Yes. 2 Rapiers on the deck, a triple kill for Sumail, and GG is called. Nigma managed to hold out till the end. What an insane game.
This is exactly what you want to see in a best of 3. Yeah, you want the bounce backs, you want everything, and whew. Is the offlaner, and you could argue there will be flexibility down the line, maybe some Darkses and stuff, but it is cool to see that they have locked it in within their repertoire of the playbook.
That is something that's definitely true. And, you just mentioned Darkseer, my favorite hero again. Gotta say, Amar, the last time I saw him play it, it was quite bad. I think he has like 4 games on this hero competitively.
It will never be 5, yes.
It's something that they really like to run, obviously, on MC, one of the most accomplished ones in the game. But enough about that hero. We're back into this one. A couple of other things that I think are pretty interesting here. And one thing that I think we should highlight, at the end of game 2, coming into this game number 3, Entity were top 6 at the major. You know, this is a team that has looked so incredibly good, and no matter what happens throughout the course of this game, I think as Nigma, you've got to be feeling good that you came in, took a game off of them, pushed them to the very limit. Things went clowny, but they still showed that this team's got a lot of sauce to them.
Yeah, especially when you think about the start of Nigma, like in Div 2, it's like, and then it's like, okay, sure. So, you know, they're coming out swinging, and, you know, Entity, that they've always been that, like, fourth, kind of third place team in EU. That so if Nigma are able to overcome them, sure, it's, you know, good stead, but again, team development is the reason for DPC, and it's, you know, it's clearly working out.
Well, it's funny to think about calling team development for Nigma one of the, you know, a lot of these guys won TI.
I mean, yeah, it's,
you're not wrong though. I mean, they needed to redevelop.
It felt wrong saying it, I won't lie. I'm pretty sure someone's going to have a question mark, but that is the thing about, you know, having a Div 1 and a Div 2, you know, it kind of speaks for itself depending on which division you're playing in.
True enough. Well, some Korates coming out as the pause is there, waiting to see what the situation is and if there's going to be any type of issues. But we will say that a very different type of draft across the other side lanes. Mid, it's going to be the exact same thing. The difference is Stormstormer is, like Lacoste and Kezu were talking about, going to switching it up to Exort.
Yeah, finally, no more Meteor Hammers, okay? And yeah, in this game, the reasoning, like the panel mentioned, there's just a lot of setup, right? There's Avalanche, Toss from the Tiny. If you're really good, you can do the Glimpse back into it. Of course, Stormstormer and Fishman, they would have probably practiced this sometime. So yeah, there's plenty of Sunstrike capabilities for Stormstormer to kind of propel himself into the game.
Get off to a hot start and keep building that momentum constantly. And yeah, I like you mentioning the Tiny in this one too. Katomi, I mean, this guy has looked so good. I think last game he looked really solid too, but particularly on his Tiny, when he's able to get it, these position 4 Tinies just make magic happen, it feels like.
Yeah, I feel like it was Saxa the other day with Tundra. He just obliterated the series on Tiny, and I'm expecting to see the same again. Like these POS 4 players, I think Tiny is just kind of mastered by all of them at this point. It's such a fluid hero once you kind of get into the game.
Absolutely. Well, a much better start out of those first couple of waves, at least mid. You can see 6-3 versus 5-0. As we take a look at up top, Watson playing on his Pudge again. Very comfortable on this hero. It is always good. He's been around for a while now, but seeing Pudge back in the meta again just feels right for Dota.
Yeah, it felt good, at least in draft-wise for Entity when they picked it up. When you see Mars, Jakiro, an abundance of like magic damage, kind of early mid-game heroes, then, you know, you have this Hood, you buy Ags, like you're going to be a really, you know, formidable force on the side of Pudge. So that's why they locked it in with confidence. Of course, Nigma did pivot down the line, but, you know, this top lane, it's going to be quite a back-and-forth lane. If you hit the hooks, as we see here, you're going to get the kills.
Get a free hit there from the tower too. Not bad, not bad. But at the same time, Amar made sure to get that spear back, so there was no glimpse potential from Fishman to get the kill on GH. As MC has pulled the wave back all the way behind the tower. Does look like they lost one creep on their way over there. So this is going to be, I think this whole wave denied out now. It's pretty annoying for them as, well, Amar, he gets caught again. Kinetic field down, in some trouble, dropping lower and lower. Dodges the spear or misses the spear, depending upon which way you want to call it. Watson still might be in some trouble there, but it looks like he's going to get out and does still have another hook. Could go fishing here in a moment. Fishman, lower, lower. GH, gotta be careful. There's the glimpse. Got him caught. Get him again.
Yeah, a little bit of anti-synergy there with the lift into a displacement when then you missed the spear. And yeah, unfortunately for this type of lane, that's the type of play which will now propel the Pudge and Disruptor to keep chasing the kills. So yeah, Nigma not having the best of starts in the off lane.
Right, the other two lanes going quite well though. Sumail 17-6 now, and still playing this like very up in your face sort of dynamic against Stormstormer, who is just now getting to level 4, but you can see he is definitely being hampered in this one. The spam is super annoying for him to deal with. Yeah,
we're going to see the exact same as the previous game. I feel like Sumail's going to play on the limits here, constantly fighting. The difference is because Invoker is now Exort, you're not going to have like EMP, you're not going to have the, you know,
oh no,
Mars just dead again, isn't he?
Yeah, that's going to be another one. You know, the panel talked about Mars and some problems that they have with this hero. Oh, the flesh heap, the damage block. Oh, well
has to be careful though. Oh, they tried to go for the glimpse into hook again.
Couldn't quite get it. does have the Ring of Health, and if he can live through this sort of volatile time, yeah, passing over the Tango, Watson, I think he's okay.
No TP on Mars for like 5 seconds now, so it's like he's just gonna sit in base. He's just awkwardly here.
Hey guys, don't mind me. All right, I'm coming back up now.
Oh, he's doing the catch-up play. So because of the lane being so poor, he's now going for the 7.32E Midas, which is otherwise known as a Meteor Hammer.
Yeah. Oh, Fishman. The glimpse comes out a little bit late to send him back to home, and I think that was what GH was trying to stop from happening, to make sure that they didn't end up getting anything there. And that might make the top lane a little bit scary over the next little bit until Disruptor gets back into it.
No, it helps a lot. Like if Amar died twice, respawns, gets glimpsed all the way back to base, and it might have been a Midas in the quick fire. That would have been a completely different story. But yeah, they have to be so careful. Again, to be clear, like Fishman on Disruptor, how Disruptor players play it now with the 2 points in glimpse, like, it is so painful, so scary.
Yeah, and finds Amar again. Spear back, connects onto the tower. That one's good. Watson needs to get out of harm's way, tries to change over the aggro, does manage to get it, but the damage might have already been done. So Watson goes down. We'll have a TP to come back out to lane, but starting to fight back a little bit here. Nigma taking full advantage.
Yeah, really nice spell usage there. That's what, like, unlike the first time where they fed away the 2 kills, if they connect on the spells, like, they also have quite a lot of displacement, right, with the lift and the spear.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone's got to be careful.
Speaking of,
hitting the spells
again. Fishman drops down Kinetic Field, tries to walk away, no such luck. He is going down too. Now they do find a hook here, and GH gonna get ran down. Sunstrike, it's off the mark. Watson ended up pushing him off to the other side. And it's gonna be a little while until Disruptor can get back, because he doesn't have a TP either. But MC still sitting tall down here, playing up against Toby. He's about even with the Invoker and Pudge, you can see. Just a little bit of gold separating all of these cores.
Yeah, and you know, Kuroki playing his Jakiro. This is going to be one of those games in the bot lane that eventually Terrorblade will have to leave the lane due to the aggression from Death Prophet. Maybe, you know, Disruptor Tiny sync up and enable that exorcism. But, you know, if you get the levels in Jakiro, you throw down like some early Macropie, push out the wave, you can be quite a nuisance on this hero. I really love the change in the patch. Getting the instant damage on Macropie now. It's going to really enable you to, you know, prevent some blinks and also just to, you know, enter the fight with some ease.
Katomi comes back in the lane, and now things get a little bit more scary for Kuro as the toss back is there. Does have the ice path, the runaway, and they pop Metamorphosis. Sunstrike. Almost enough. Kuro is going to go down. Toby getting the last touch on that from the offlane Death Prophet. Very well played, but Sumail trying to get up in the face now of Stormstormer, low on mana. Sumail won't go anymore. Hook off the mark. Connects now. GH. Kinetic Field. Fishman backs away. Spear there. Not quite enough damage. They will kill off GH yet again.
Oh, he's looking for a glimpse. Waddle, waddle. Ah.
Couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it. I mean, it's also nighttime. So.
Oh, buddy. Those random hooks could be nice.
Stormstormer is about 100 gold away from his Midas here. So even after under the threat of the Ember spam, he's been able to farm up.
Wait a minute. Ice Path. Remnant. Stormstormer caught. Oh, he just wants his Midas. And now he's going to be delayed that much more. Oh,
jinxed it.
That's annoying. Katomi also getting gone on by Sumail. They got him caught here. Pops the stick, tries to walk away. Diving. They do get the toss back under the tower, but it's another kill gifted to Sumail. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they kind of needed to do that. Like, Stormstorm was having such a chill time in this game. Oh, Fishman. That's a big kinetic, though.
Oh, Kezu said he wanted him to pop off. Do you feel like that's sort of enough right there, or do they just need to keep going for kill after kill?
No, he needs to continue, you know, popping off further down the line here. You have to break open the game a little bit more if you're Nigma.
GH had to take that DD away from the Forged Spirit, which is going to get denied in his face by Stormstormer, who did actually finish the Midas. So
there we go.
At the very least, that comes out. Oh, Toby. Level 6 Exo took the tower, now going to try and use the last vestiges of it to take down MC. MC in trouble, has nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. He just gets a freebie.
Yeah, this will now be the awkward part of the game for Nigma. It's like a Mars free farming top, Terrorblade has no place at home in the bot lane, so it's like they need to now shift their cores around to unlock this Terrorblade to farm more. And in some games it would be this Mars looking for a gank, but again, in the back of my mind, I remember it's a Mar. So
Right.
will he concede his own farm to assist the Terrorblade?
Well, you did.
Oh no. Okay, he's going bottom. He's
Okay.
gonna continue farming. Oh, he didn't go my Meteor Hammer, luckily.
That's what I was about
as
to
well.
say. He decided to switch over to double bracers. Mid lane, they find Stormstormer again, get that kill. Watson wants to get the counterplay, but GH is already there with the lift. And with no hook available, Watson's just going to need to hold on to this tower with the Vanguard. Does have Dismember. It's again pretty scary as he's brought down lower and lower. Does have hook ready onto Sumail, throws it out, good dodge. Katomi, he's going to get caught for the moment, or rather catches, and now the Dismember, they have toss, enough damage to kill him off? No, the Remnant away is there, Fishman drops. Nigma still playing just absolute perfection around this Ember Spirit mid.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit awkward there. Kroki was ice pathing off to the Disruptor, not helping out Sumail, but luckily with the Remnant out, was able to disengage in time and continue. And I think that's going to be the issue for this Pudge in this game. There are a lot of kiting potential in the toolkit of Nigma, right? You've got Spear, you've got Ice Path, Lift, even the slight chains. Like every hero pretty much other than Terrorblade has a way to annoy this Pudge and just keep that distance away from that rock.
It's really annoying to deal with. And I mean, the also issue as well is, I mean, at the very least, like you're talking about, that Terrorblade is going to be somewhat susceptible to it, and he's bottom of the cores right now. So that is something that, you know, is going well for Entity in that regard. And there's still 1,000 gold up right now, you know, above the side of Nigma. That's mainly just that Terrorblade lacking the farm after getting kind of handled in the laning stage, and tried to Manta dodge with the Illusion Rune, the Glimpse, couldn't quite get it though, and there's going to be the
even smokes
smoke
up,
way.
but
not going to keep him alive. Does get the Rune Deny. Oh my god, Fishman being a nuisance. Sumail, he's going to try and chase him, doesn't have another Remnant. Barely get him.
And they high-fived because he got the slight to get his body on top of him.
He doesn't have a Remnant. He won't go for it. They had friends in the area. Watson. Katomi. Hold back in. Sumail there. Ice Path down. Macro Pyre 2. And yeah, that's going to be a dead Tiny.
This is what Nigma needs to do. They need just to create this forward aggression so that this Terrorblade can just catch up behind. And we're really yet to see, you know, Mars enter the game either, right? You know, Mars, he's got, what is it? 4 point Spear, 2 points Rebuke. He's not put anything into stats, okay? So yeah, he's holding 1 point. Actually, no, Psych. He's fully gotten
Rebuke.
Rebuke, yeah. I was about to say, maybe he's holding a point because he does this for fun when he just mode farm. He doesn't really care about having the spell literally leveled up at that time, but no, instead he goes full farm mode.
Okay.
And that puts a lot of emphasis on the double supports plus Sumail to provide that aggression, because he's going to go, guys, I'm going to enter the game when I have BKB. Until then, if the fight comes to me, I fight. If the fight doesn't, then good luck, have fun, see what you can do. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting right now from their playstyle.
Well, they are definitely making a lot happen with these heroes mid, but if you bring more numbers from Entity, that sort of stops the aggression that Sumail can do on this Ember Spirit. At least I think it does. I don't know. He still sometimes seems willing to just run around like a crazy person. But level 10 on him, does have an Invis Rune bottled up right now. Katomi is nearby. They see him over here, I think. Have full vision. Static Storm down. And is this going to be what they need to get the kill? The Invis is there. Avalanche and the toss. It's enough to bring down Sumail.
Yeah, a really important pick off. And if you're empty, it's like, thanks for tanking the gank, mate. I'm going to go back to the jungle. You know, cheerio and whatnot. And yeah, for Entity, they kind of need to get some of these big picks. Like, meanwhile, you know, got Toby in the bot lane. He's happily farming up, and I'd argue when he picks up this Greaves, he needs to enter the game. He needs to use this Exo and punish the fact that there isn't this BKB on Mars. There isn't this, like, Terrorblade who's got, you know, Yasha Dragonlance or something crazy. It is a very, you know, not very team fight strong Nigma outside of their supports. Slash Ember.
Amar with Exo there. Sunstrike. Oh, not enough damage. Good TP away. That keeps him alive. And well, it looks like Toby's going to go down there. So didn't even actually pop the Exo. Definitely a good decision. But they are able to force Amar away, while Watson continues to farm up in the mid lane. Pretty much the only hero that can stay here without too much worry.
Yeah, just really important moves from Entity there. Like, as soon as Mars picks up this the BKB, that will be the point where Entity have to be just a little bit concerned with how they engage, right? If they walk up into Mars, their spells will obviously feel like nothing. And yeah, you got this blink coming soon on Tiny. Watson's like 1,500 gold away from his Ags. Like, Entity should be looking for that, you know, game-breaking smoke within the next 5 or so minutes. So it's on Nigma to keep poking them and delaying that timing until, oh wait, suddenly we're now ready to rebuttal it ourselves.
It feels like maybe waiting for that level 2 DP ulti is what they could be going for. She's level 11 right now. And then, of course, like, Pudge is getting closer and closer to Aghanim Scepter.
Exactly.
So those might link up together pretty well while Stormstormer just keeps farming. And they're doing a good job of out-farming them on the map. A 3,000 gold lead in spite of the 9-9 kill spread across the two teams.
When you lose your safe lane tower so early and your supports are playing an active playstyle, you don't have that kind of passive push out the creeps mentality, which kind of helps you produce that net worth on top. So,
ooh, smoke. Heads in. Katomi in some trouble. Spear, Macro Pyre got them both. Greaves trying to keep him alive. Needs to get away, and they find him. So Katomi lives, and, well, Amar, not so lucky. They might just think about going for more, and in fact, they find him here. In trouble, Sumail wants to get out of there. They steal Spirit Siphon. The Glimpse pulls Sumail back in, tries to dodge it. Not gonna happen. Big kills and a bigger objective soon to go down as Tier 1 tower in mid. And yeah, I mean, I can't help but think how much Fishman has done in this entire series. They just play so well around Disruptor. And Katomi, they find him. GH is going to get the kill onto him, but ends up paying the price nonetheless afterwards.
Watch out for the arena.
MC's shown up too. Okay, they find him there. Watson being dropped lower and lower, just decides to TP out. They don't have a way to break it. Stolen Glimpse could be good to take down Disruptor there, but no, not going to happen. So they get the tower, and if Sumail can't find anybody here, they're getting out. Silence, TP away. Oh, well done by Fishman. Spear comes too late. They only lose Katomi.
How incredibly awkward for Nigma. It's a chain of just disengage from Entity. You miss a key stun, boom, TP. You don't have another one available, you get out of here. GH buys back, but no real value. TB uses meta. An incredibly awkward chain of events from Nigma. This net worth lead will slowly grow for Entity once again. All 3 cores sitting up top, happily farming up, and once again, Entity are the team that are going to hit this timing way earlier than Nigma.
Tornado out there as you see the esportsbet.io favoring Entity right now, and I think that, you know, there is still these couple of windows where it's like maybe you can try and help deal with it. Like the BKB for Amar feels kind of good in theory. You've got, you know, Sumail a ways away from a BKB after those couple of deaths. But also Terrorblade. I mean, MC just needs sort of some free time to keep farming. He's trying to get into Yasha, for goodness sake. And they're about to have Ags on Pudge.
Yeah, so the Terrorblade into Pudge matchup, it feels okay for Terrorblade if you always have like one item advantage, or at least you're progressing to your next item in the fight. And it's like Manta, Skadi, Satanic is kind of your sweet spot, where you're able to, when Pudge engages, you have someone to kind of body in front of you, you apply that slow, you kite him out, you kill everyone else. Like, it can be good, but when you're behind, this Pudge, he goes Ags, he sits on top of you. When you pre-Skadi, you're never really killing him. So it will be a very scary window of the game. Because this Terrorblade doesn't have a game, you know, Entity, they should be able to thrive in these fights. You know, Sumail, he's going to have to do a lot of work to kind of break Entity apart like he did in the previous game.
No, it's going to be a really tough ask for him to make all of that stuff happen. Does have this DD now, which was going to be popped. I think that was just a timeout on that one bottled. And we'll look for another one of these like big runes, because it feels like that's kind of what they need at this point. You know, it's like it's a timing being hit for Entity, and Nigma just, they need that extra little bit coming their way. But they're ready to run out again. Like we talked about, Watson, Aghanim Scepter done. Can he find a good footing in these fights? They get the silence out. Mar, no BKB yet, and looking for a glimpse target. Can they find it in time? Sumail's right there. Fishman, he's scouted. Can they bring him down? Already, Macro Pyre and a good Spear Arena combination comes out, but Fishman, he is going to be enough to bring him down there. GH Stolen Avalanche. It's a good spell to disrupt these fights.
Yeah, the fight started with Fishman actually using Glimpse quite early on, but it wasn't to the great effect that we've seen, you know, so far in the series, and because of that, they just kind of kept chasing in the hope. It wasn't as clean as, you know, the previous Disruptor setups. You know, Nigma, should be pretty happy with that one. The fact that they weren't punished for such a large rotation from Entity. But again, the net worth still happily shifting in the way of Entity.
Well, we'll see what these next couple of minutes look like here. You're still getting incredibly strong on Invoker too. I think he has an item coming out.
It's a BKB, yeah.
So fully completed on that one after the Midas and bots. Katomi also with the Blink Dagger done and the Philosopher's Stone. He's going to be scaling pretty soon here too.
Yeah, scaling quite nicely with utility. His quick buy showing the Yules, the 4-staff. Yeah, against Mars and all these annoying heroes, being able to maybe disrupt their engagement or kite out with your teammates. I like the fact that he always thinks about this type of stuff as a 4-player. Plays on the fringe of the fight, initiates, enables. Probably one of the best 4-players in the region, in my opinion, when he gets his specialty heroes.
Well, we did see that last fight too sort of go a little bit weird, but like we're talking about Katomi with this Blink Dagger, they've got so many good things online. It feels like this would be an okay time for them to try and, maybe take a fight. Think about Roche, and well, they're throwing out one, get them with the hook.
So clean.
And yep, that is what they were hoping for. So 7 Flesh Heap stacks as Sumail gonna be able to dodge that Static Storm actually. So good play there. Amar? Sumail's not with you, but he just kills off Fishman. Okay, Watson in this fight too. GH tries to get away. That's not gonna happen. So the Haste Rune coming in from Watson, and it ends up being 2 supports for 1. Can they get another?
Yeah, in regards to that aggression you're asking about, I feel like Entity, they're so close to triple BKBs that they'll look for the free picks, like you saw here, this, cute Avalanche toss into Hook into Sunstrike. But until then, DP 300 gold away, Pudge about 1,000 gold away. Like, they're so close to this incredible timing where if you look at Nigma's lineup, exclude Terrorblade because he doesn't really do any damage. A BKB removes all of their damage, right? I feel like there's like a 1 in 10 chance that Nigma can even win a fight against a triple BKB timing if Entity play it correctly. Like, that's how incredibly strong they should be within the next 4 to 5 minutes of this game. If they aggressively posture and look at Roshan, yeah.
It does feel pretty bad when you say their carry doesn't do any damage, but you're not wrong. MC, particularly with meta down for the next 100 seconds.
Yeah, there we go.
It's going to be kind of rough for him, but MC's going to come on in. I guess they don't know that meta's down, so there you go.
And also, if you look at his inventory now, he respects the fact that the game is difficult. He's not going for the Manta, he's not going for farming items.
Yeah.
He needs that Skadi, so when the big fight happens...
He needs to look out, too, because they might be coming his way. Fishman, oh no, and Katomi's over here, too. Avalanche, toss, silence, and gonna be dropping. Was not able to get out of harm's way quickly enough, but they do have a glimpse connection. This is not gonna work.
Where's the damage?
This is not gonna work.
Oh, they can kill that guy, though.
Yeah, Fishman might be going down again, although Exo used. Fishman tries to back out of there. Katomi just runs in, have a toss kill onto Kuro, maybe. He is getting ran down by Toby, does still take some of that ghost damage, while Watson hunting around for Sumail, can't quite get him. Kuro hiding off in the trees. A couple of ghosts are finding him every now and then, but he actually is kind of living through it, but not going to be so lucky on GH.
They're going to find Kuroki. They knew he entered the jungle. Is he going to leave? Okay, no, yeah.
Looks like he gets away.
The great escape.
Still, Terrorblade down, Rubik down, and a tower taken. Feels pretty rough for Nigma. 8,000 gold lead now.
A little rough, but I think the silver lining here is the Exo was used in a fashion that the fight was drawn out long enough that this wasn't a win the fight, instantly go Roshan because we're next to it, and we got our BKBs, look how good we are. So,
I thought you were going to say the silver line is they won game 2. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, oh, Jesus. I don't know. That was going to be my analysis in 20 minutes, boss.
Okay. Got it. Well, we'll see. No, I hear what you're saying, though. It wasn't that, snowball into the next objective for Entity.
Yeah, and Ember just got the BKB himself, and we're at 1,200 gold away from, or 1,100 gold away from a Skadi. So it's if Nigma can stabilize, there will be a point where the Roshan isn't going to be a simple Exo take it, no contest from Nigma. There's going to be a BKB, there's going to be a Skadi, there's going to be a way in which Nigma can present themselves in the fight to go toe for toe. But again, you need to kite out the triple BKB at the start, protect your Terrorblade to go. But there is a window for Nigma to bounce back into this game.
Oh, free courier? No! Goes down.
I don't know why for a split second I was like, maybe he will do it, but no, that's just a dead courier. Luckily, he didn't have any of the components of Skadi already on it.
Yeah.
That would have been,
Pretty
absolute disaster.
Oh, it's true. And yeah, they're even pulling in the waves right now. They know how important the Scotty is for MC. Mar given farm to his carry.
And there it is, Scotty complete. This is the best part of the game for Nigma because, like, you lose fight.
That, though, too.
Here it is.
Stormer.
Oh, Arcane Rune for Sumail.
Finds him there with the root. What can they find? Katomi trying to play protection. They drop down the arena, got him caught, gonna get him killed. Now Watson pulls him in closer on Amar, but do they have the damage to follow this up? Sumail pops his BKB, runs in, connects onto Fishman. Toby kind of in no man's land, not doing that much, and Watson also in some trouble. Although, MC, where's his friends? He doesn't have anybody nearby him. They need help. He can do a lot of damage, but not if he's getting controlled like this. Nobody nearby at all. They're going to kill off MC, and GH also going to fall. They just didn't have the backup they needed.
They had to protect each other. They needed to give Terrorblade a platform to A-click, and when you got half your team running up the high ground, the buyback from Invoker to wrap behind, and also Fishman, yeah, not the best from Nigma. You have to respect the attempt there. They did have a really nice timing, but just the execution wasn't there. Inside the river, underneath multiple entity wards, it's a really difficult spot to, you know, have perfect positioning the entire fight duration.
All right, you think it's going to be good taking down Stormer right away, but as we've seen, you fight around these areas where, I mean, there, I guess it was a TP to a creep wave.
Yeah,
but like, you know, if you use everything to try and take down one, they just buy back, the fight's not going to be good.
Yeah, and you get the Aegis because you're outside the Roshan pit, you have the Exo available. Now this buyback doesn't really feel that bad because he's got the Aegis. Next time it happens, worst case scenario, gets hit by Arena. Guess what? He's just going to BKB after the fact.
CMC here, trying to set up on him maybe, on a ward, but immediately running out of there.
He's got to go. Oh, the Sunstrike's going to...
Oh my goodness. Katomi, he's hiding. MC off to the side. Oh, the tornado caught him. Oh my god, he just died and now going to be brought down again. Entity on the hunt, finding the kill.
Just a beautiful Sunstrike, because of course it will give that lingering vision, so they know it's like, okay, he didn't cross here, he had to go south, and then they just throw everything into the tree line to find him there.
And now with the Terrorblade holding the creep wave back, it would have been good, but the problem is there is a catapult here and Alacrity on it. It's going to be forced to use that glyph. Can they take down the tier 2 after?
They got one little melee creep following.
Yeah, they should be able to get it down, it looks like.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, big wins for Entity, trying to reassert some dominance here after a pretty chaotic game number 2.
Oh, don't worry, this one can still get chaotic, boss.
It's true.
You know, you've got some
absolutely.
Mars spear back into base. It's no Magnus, but it's still something to start the fight. Terrorblade at the high ground. You know, the towers and the buildings are your kind of supporting cast to give yourself good positioning. An Entity, they don't really have a, outside of Death Prophet, it's a very one-dimensional high ground siege, so Nigma can plan around that quite nicely to give themselves comeback potential, but for sure Entity are in the driving seat. Win probability is probably still around about 70%, I'd argue.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that you see the way that right now Entity are feeling, yeah, 85 for the moment.
Sorry, I meant 85%, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Well done. You can see them sort of playing together up on the top side of the map. Sumail trying to split the map as much as possible. You know, Mars is down here too, and they're just not really wanting to take any type of a fight, just trying to buy as much time as possible. And Amar even queuing up the Deso afterwards. Stormer wanting to find somebody, but can't quite get there. Also didn't have the Hex yet.
All right, the real question is, and I'm going to... Oh, hold on. Let's see if...
Ava, toss back, didn't pop it. BKB comes out now. Yule Scepter, but Watson's there. They got him again. Oh, Amar, he gets caught slipping in that mid lane, trying to farm up, gets punished heavily.
It's really hard for him to play out this game because, of course, there's, you know, BKB piercing stuns. There's ways to punish him. He is trying to be this frontlining hero, but there is no front line with these heroes he's against.
Katomi gonna take some more of that macro pyre burn damage, but does manage to walk out of it after a hook from Watson. 15 to 22, 11,000 gold lead, and another tower just gonna be bulldozed down by the giant man, Mr. Pudge himself.
Yeah, we're in the state of the game when you have these illusion carries. It's always, we need that one more item to hope to enter the fight. You know, it's for Terrorblade at least. He's going to go for the BKB. That'll give him some protection, at least from the initiation from Tiny. But again, it's if Death Prophet's on you, if there's a Dismember on top of you, you can't really brush that off with this item.
No, it feels like he needs the help from the rest of his team to sort of keep them under control. As Sumail pops the BKB there, maybe thought that there was more people around besides Fishman. And he would be right, Watson was right there too. And ends up getting the kill and then getting out. But yeah, not easy at all. It feels like it has to be the perfect fight from Nigma. And for Entity, it just feels like it has to be a fight.
Yeah, pretty much. Like for Entity, at least, like the way that this game can get awkward is they all have, they have a lot of blink daggers, right? So if they blink into a fight, hoping to, mark the,
oh my
hold
god,
on,
dude, that's crazy. The tornado pushed him away from the rebuke coming from Toby. The spear is going to connect him to a tree, but there's nothing to be gained after that.
Yeah, go back to my previous points. Like Entity just needs to be careful. They don't get carried away with the engagement where they put themselves in a bad position because they think it's a good fight. And then suddenly it's like Ice Path, Macropyres, Arenas. Like there's a lot of counterplay available from Nigma, but of course, in the open terrain, in the vision advantage that Entity is currently playing on with their lead, it's difficult. So.
Stormstormer Aegis just now is expiring. They smoked up at the same time. Realized that they weren't going to be able to get anything from that. If I'm not mistaken, was that a Bloodstone that I see maybe being built from Toby? Oh no, it's Octarine.
There you go.
That's much less cool.
I mean,
oh my god,
oh, the Sunstrike, yeah. It's like, surprise!
He's like, they have a ward here? What's going on? Ice Path down, MC turns, oh wait a minute though, the turn and the kill! Stormstormer going to drop, but Watson playing cleanup, finds the bring down onto MC and Kuro. He's gonna stand in his macro pyre. Watson does not care about that at all. A double kill for the Pudge. And Gem also reclaimed.
I mean, it's a kind of hype turnaround for the situation, but when you press Enter key and you look at the left-hand side and see who killed Storm,
yeah,
then you're like, it's like that would have been the BKB gold. That would have been like, again, a silver lining to the scenario, but I feel like anytime Nigma shows on a wave, there's some hero here just punishing him here.
And Katomi, I mean, he tried to punish. That's the BKB used. Will get lifted, pulled back in. Avalanche low. Greaves trying to walk away. Ogre Seal Totem is there, and there's going to be the hook. Watson finds himself a Mar. Sumail Remnants, but there's going to be the toss.
The shot
able to catch him beforehand. Walks away, Remnants out. Fishman on the hunt, has 2 seconds until Glimpse, and well, Sumail gonna pop his BKB, wants to fight. You can't really fight this guy though. It's the big man, Mr. Pudge, looks for the silence, finds it right there and hooks instead, but there's gonna be the toss and finds the kill. Watson, still too strong.
Sumail spamming B right back. He will be right back in 69 seconds. And yeah, again, Entity just sweeping across the map, just pickoff after pickoff. They got no reason to slow down right now.
Toss forward, Avalanche from long range. Katomi Yules wants to survive, will die when he comes back down from the macro pyre. And GH will eventually die too. Watson actually had to pop BKB and get out of there also. He was brought down very low. And be right back, be right back. Not sure what's going on, but Sumail letting the team know about it.
Yeah, it's good to keep your team updated, especially when you're dead. There's not a lot for you to do.
Yeah. 14,000 gold lead right now for Entity. Showing again why this team performed so well at the major, performed well in the last tour as well. Had to break out of the tiebreakers and trying to reassert themselves here in Tier 2.
Yeah, I feel like for Nigma, like the last 10 minutes or so, they've had like glimpses of, we could actually take this fight if this is present, or if this, support duo is in the, like there's so many chances for them to take these fights, but, or at least not even take fight, but turn them around. But they are in such a difficult spot, which is push out the waves and delay, that it presents so many opportunities for Entity to just find non-stop pickoffs. And I feel like as soon as Nigma can get themselves into the same corner of the map and be ready for that play, they will find opportunities to turn around an engagement that one time.
Okay. I could be down for it. That'd be really cool to see if they can make it work. I just like to, this one to go another 60-minute match. Why not? We did also see it's now 1.5 minutes until Roche is going to respawn. E-Blade completed on Pudge.
Yep.
Obviously, such a good answer against Terrorblade now that it's based on the opponent's stats instead of your own. And there it is, the glimpse into Hook. He gets the BKB off, but Dismember is there too. Tries to throw down the arena. And look at the Hex and the control, but the save is there. Sumail able to walk away for the moment, but Well, Amar, he's not going to be so lucky. Katomi chasing. Kuro's hiding off in the trees. GH also able to escape.
Terrorblade.
They got him caught in trouble. The one man to hope to get away, but they do have the control, and MC dies to Stormer. So they get out with the supports, not so with the cores.
It just feels like Nigma, even, of course they're behind, it's a difficult position, but they're just not ready to try and make these plays. Of course, it's testament to Disruptor and how much of a nuisance he's being. He's forcing out these BKBs so often when Nigma show for a little bit too long. And yeah, when Terrorblade's dead for 30, he's going to go knocking on the base and see what he can take.
Exo already popped. Watson going to be the tank for this one as Toby gets closer, does all the damage that they can. Still that 20 seconds until the Terrorblade is back up. And, well, they're going to get a second glyph out of him, and it looks like Entity are actually going to respect the high ground hold that is there potentially from Nigma.
Yeah, Exo was, 2-3 seconds away from expiring. Roshan is actually about to respawn. So, no Exo. Sure, there's a lot of cheap ways for Entity to take the fight outside of Exo, of course. Toby has a shard. He's going to be able to apply fears. He's got BKB. Like, there's so many ways for Toby to do things outside of it, but yeah, it's kind of a potential window for Nigma to leave their base. And yeah, they are smoking up.
This seems really good.
I mean,
if they can connect.
If they can connect on one fight, and I feel like this has been the theme of the last however many minutes, it's like if they do that one play, if they actually have numbers in that one opportunity, they can start building the comeback. And of course, they're not in any way in a comeback situation. It's like they just need to get it. But Entity, they're grouping up right now. They understand.
You can also see, though, that these waves shoved out by the Terrorblade, I mean, it does feel like they know that this is coming, even though, like, those waves have been really well pushed out by the Terrorblade illusions.
They're drawing it on the minimap. They know exactly the angle in which they're coming from.
Right.
Toby's in the low ground in the river, behind the trees, ready to break any smoke with the perfect ward above. So yeah, Entity well aware of this.
Playing their vision just about as perfect as you can. And for Nigma, oh wait,
they're smoking, they're going in.
They actually just saw Forge Spirit. The Forge Spirit just ran into them, the whole team. They find Fishman for the moment. Spear is out there, BKB2, but do they have the damage that they need? Hook is out, and Kuro is gone. GH buys back immediately after dying. MC completely alone. The rest of his team is gone. He's BKB trying to run away from Pudge, gets him caught with the hook, pulls him back in closer, and finishes him off. Now Sumail in even further trouble. As stolen Dismember, okay, that's something. Sumail, he tries to TP away, does manage to escape, but the hook is there, won't get away with Dismember this time. As GH goes down, Kuro again hiding off in the trees. Looks like he'll be able to get away this time, unless, well, a chase actually.
Yeah, 2 went down, 1 went up. Oh
my God, Stormer. All right, he's coming for you. Kuro.
I mean, Kuro has no TP, so we're going to have over a 43-second chase, or Storm's going to give up.
He went off to the other side, and yeah, the call is probably just to go and hit some buildings.
Yeah, and again, Katomi, a beautiful entry to that fight. He jumps on the double supports, instantly kills off GH, and they just cause this rift throughout the Nigma lineup. That Terrorblade, he has just no protection from his team. There is no way to keep him alive once this Pudge gets on top of him.
Well, Katomi comes back to try and push out the wave. They have a tier 2 tower that they still need to claim up top, but Entity, they want to take the bigger prize, heading for Roshan. So they will manage to take this, and then off the back of pushing the waves out, most likely look for the tier 2 tower top and ending this game. But for Nigma, it's a still high ground hold that they can do. We saw how effective that was before in the last game. MC's getting closer to a Daedalus, but still a very tough ask for them.
From the Roshan, Watson's going to be picking up the shard as well. So now not only is he going to be a very aggressive Pudge, he's going to be able to also keep heroes alive. It's a very... They have a lot of, not single target lock, but they have to try and execute one hero. So of course this Pudge in the correct position will be able to keep this DP or Invoker alive if necessary.
Yeah, using that on DP sounds great. Because, like, we saw GH steal the Dismember before, and, like, that's so good on Rubik if you have Shard. You can, like, dismember people from crazy far away to save their lives. But they don't have that hero that's there for, like, sort of the exorcism doing damage at the same time while the save is going on. There's... The majority of heroes, if you save them, they probably just die after they kill you as Rubik anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, Amar. Oh, God.
Oh,
they spot him!
Stormcrafter!
Stormcrafter from Stormer, and well, nowhere left to go for him. He pops the BKB pretty late, dodges the blink away from the rebuke, and Entity find another kill. Stormer, he's just styling.
Yeah, I mean, he got, what, 3 Invoker games in a row? He's living the dream right now. He gets to play his best hero.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just looking at that worth. Like, Tiny's about 300 gold away from taking over from Mars.
No, it's true. I mean, Katomi's an amazing Tiny. I think he had a Philosopher's Stone for a little bit. Oh, no, it was Fishman that had it. But regardless, yeah. I mean, it has looked quite good. And
another
now
hook.
They find it from downtown. Watson, the other hero that's just on one of his absolute signature best. Kuro gets glimpse back, gonna get killed off. They're walking in the Macro Pyre. They're Ogre Seal toteming in the Macro Pyre. They don't care. That is Toby standing tall out front and center, taking down these buildings. An Entity with Nigma in the rearview mirror. They are looking to close out this game. Stormer jumps in. No chance for a connection for a kill on that Hex, as he does back away with the rest of the team. Entity now 30,000 gold lead.
I'm trying to think of the way that they got to get back in, boss, and it's I don't want to lie to you, but it's looking pretty slim. They really need to rely on some mad overextensions from Entity.
You know, it wasn't this bad last game in terms of the gold lead, but there was that moment where, you know, we saw people dive Fountain, and then there's the question of, like, could they just hit towers? And it feels like that's what Entity's doing.
Yeah, they're just hitting towers, and luckily for Entity,
they're not diving Fountain.
They also can't. It's like Pudge, he hooks heroes to them. Oh,
wrong
MC.
one. He actually went for it, and oh, can't we just hit towers? Now they give up the gem. Although maybe it doesn't matter. Watson, oh, he's controlling him, in trouble, and MC going to die, and the hook connects now onto Amar, wanting to get out of there, but no way to get out. Stormer gives up his life for the eventual good fight, and Sumail couldn't be there for it. As Katomi finds himself another tasty target, it is going to be that Jakiro. Holy moly.
Mark with the buyback has a Shadow Blade to try and, you know, maybe skip some waves or some shenanigans, but yeah, once again, Nigma proving that they cannot take the fight in open space. I feel like these lineups from Entity, though, they're so much fun to watch because of how, like, poetic the fights are. You know, it's like I hook you out. Yeah,
I like it.
Thank you. I hook you out of position, I Sunstrike you. You know, half HP, or you got the support Tiny displacing people. Like, it's displacement and an abundance of damage through just really nice itemization. And
true.
It's like kind of like high skill as well. Because if you miss these spells, if you blink poorly, then you will just get clapped by Nigma's defensive toolkit. But
I mean, we saw it just a second ago, right? Stormer blinks high ground, hexes an illusion, and then ends up dying for trouble right afterwards.
Yep.
Now covering the hook also. Macro Pyre down on top of the Pudge. He's not dying to that one. Katomi tries to get away, still taking a lot of damage. Does not have the Ogre Seal on him, but does have the hook coming from his best buddy, Mr. Watson, who is down very, very low right here.
That's the Aegis still.
Aegis in hand, 30 seconds left on it. If they can keep him low, maybe there's an opportunity, or they can just go for the all-in play. Aegis gonna be reclaimed. So now, Shadow Blade tries to run away. The fear is there, but that is going to be an entire full set of racks. That is Mega Creeps. And Entity ready to close out this game. If they want to, they can just wait for the next Exo.
Are we down for some old fake back shenanigans? Oh, yes, we are, boys. Okay, we do the smoke outside the base. We're going back in.
And they find him. MC didn't stand a chance. Oh, BKB can't get the Sunder off. The BKB was there from Toby. Now Remnant away. Sumail pulled back in. Everybody's dying. Everybody's in some trouble. Amar can't connect with the spear into Arena. And he is going to get now ran down along with Sumail. Katomi has a BKB for some reason. Amar is gone. Sumail looks to get away. They still maintain some vision over him. The Glimpse pulls him back in. And then the Avatos, the Ghost Scepter. Remnant tries to get away, but the Hex is there. And GG is going to be called. Entity with the 2-1 win over Nigma.
Yeah, this was a bit of a beatdown in Game 3 from Entity. I think they...
Watching an interesting video. I hope you like it. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you for joining us on this journey. To stay up to date with our latest videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let's create something wonderful together.